Carol, sorry I'm coming out later than I told you guys. Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon. Mo mà ti lọ ń jọ Daddy Freeze pẹ̀lú ọwọ́ waving yìí. Ọlá Akin, Peter Pan on YouTube. Tutuola Ahmed, Cece Jones, Larry Dipo, I see you. Kids love Bounce House. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Most of you, I know you are in afternoon. Awatawa, America, la you are láàárọ̀. So good afternoon, guys. Sorry I'm coming out late. I need to get myself really prepared for this particular show because it's going to take time. So I'm giving you guys heads up. Ẹ má bínú. I'm giving you heads up. It's going to be a long show, quite unlike the show I love doing, but because this is all about somebody using power to oppress and suppress the voice of people. So I don't have makeup on. I'm not in the mood for makeup. I just woke up, freshen up a bit, and that is it. Maybe the makeup. You know, makeup brightens the face, but I'm not in the mood for makeup. Then I woke up late. So maybe sleep something is in on my face. I woke up late too. So I slept for long. So, and it's so funny the rate at which I sleep now. Oh, thank you guys. Erote Lori TikTok. Good morning, good afternoon, guys. Mi ò mọ̀, thanks for joining me. Thanks. I get clean glasses. Ó dà pé ó wà blurry. Ó dà pé ó ní dọ̀tí lójú. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please kindly share on Facebook, on YouTube if you can share. I woke up late. Maybe that is it too. I slept for long. So thanks for joining me. You're all welcome. They are still on the case of Abraham. The lawyers are with him as I'm talking. We'll give you updates when they put updates. Okay. Remember, it is not only Abraham, but Abraham and Eneche's two brothers are involved in the case. Eneche cannot say he's not the one that sent them at this point. It's very, very obvious. And the rate at which the blog page they are paying is trying to bring people to come and talk about Eneche's miracle is a pointer that is the one that sent them message, and is a pointer that they are trying to prove they are doing miracle. They should know by now that this is not the era of America will tell you when you see something, you say something. So that is what we are doing. You see something, you say something, so that others will not fall into the trap. Anyway, good morning, guys. Good afternoon, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Antia Duni. If you are just getting to see my show and you're just getting to see my face, I'm a gentle lady. I know like wahala, and I am doing what I'm doing because I was beaten. Once beaten, twice shy. Okay, to awaken others to all these fake miracle preachers and all that. So if you're just getting to see my show, I'm welcoming you and I say thank you. Just have a seat, and please be respectful in your comments, be civil in your comments to me, to others, especially while I'm doing my show, or else I go rapture you, like Daddy Freeze will say. I go rapture you if you come and you yarn nonsense or insult anybody for their opinion. Please, my followers, let's be respectful. Don't let us behave like person wey get something too. And I beg una, please. So we are not fighting. We are only trying to tackle some very few charlatans calling themselves men of God. So that's what we are doing. So particularly on this case, there is a case that has been going on, which is the case of Abraham Daniels, an ex-pastor of Dunamis Church, which belongs to Pastor Eneche. Yesterday, uh, Very Darkman came out with a video accusing the guy of trying to blackmail him. And I will try and talk a little bit about that now. You see, I am not saying what if I'm not saying Abraham Daniel calling Very Darkman a scam was right. In fact, when I saw that video, I was not even close to him as at then. I think I went under that comment and I said, don't say this. I said something must have gone wrong. I didn't know the details of what was going on between them. But I saw the video and I remember I commented under that particular video Abraham did. And I said, don't say this. I said something is going on. I said, I even tried to explain to him that Very Darkman may not even know that many people are opening pages on his name. And he said Very Darkman's page is supposed to be verified. I said I agree. And I said even me, it's tough getting his real page. And I think I agree. And the guy was pointing out that the people can be using that different pages to scam him. To scam people, which is very, very good possibility. So the guy begging Very, Very Darkman money is not a big deal. For every one of you that want to crucify him, it's not a big deal when you are in trouble and you try to beg people to help you out. You are the people that will still say, if somebody like him carry gun now to go and steal, you will say, why can't he talk out and ask for help, right? You are still the person, if somebody doesn't talk out, and after being frustrated, they go and do what they are not supposed to do. You are still the people that will say, why did he do what he did? But this guy tried to be humble, because that is what I call humility. He's not a young man. That guy should be in his 50s, the way I look at him. At his age, he went to meet his son's age and was pleading, please help me. Please help me. What I saw when Very Darkman was reading the messages out, what I was having in my brain is somebody that is drowning, that is about to drown, and only his hand is out, and he said, please pull me out. Please pull me out. That was what that guy was doing in that messages VDM read out. He's 42. Monday, no, even if he's 42. I'm talking about Abraham Daniels. So he's 42 and he looks so old. Are you sure he's 42? Then are you telling me that he got married at the age of 22? I'm not sure. I think he's older than 42. If he's not 50, he should be in his late 50s. I mean, in his late 40s, I mean. He should be older than 42, 20 and 42. Anyway. So I was like, what is the big deal? Number one, for him asking for help. On this my phone, my two phones, especially these my two phones that I use regularly, I have countless of people that need help. The one I know I cannot do, I will not respond. Because you know why? When I try to respond, the story they will tell me may push me to do more than my capacity. So I don't respond most times. The one I can respond to, I do. Okay? After I did give away in was it this in December, I know how many people that came to me and was asking me, please help me, please help me. My question is, this video that Abraham Daniel did was about weeks ago, almost 2 months now or so. Why? And he was tagging Very Darkman to that video. He was tagging his name. Very Darkman saw the video then. My question is, why didn't Abraham VDM talk about the video as at that time? Why did you wait till now to talk about it? What I thought is happening is that Very Darkman know about the issue. I mean, saw the video when Abraham Daniel did it. He just carry face comot, innocent. When this case now happened, before this case happened, a day to when they were going to remand Abraham Daniel, a day or 2 days to that time, Deji Adeyanju wrote up an update and said, don't go and look for wahala o. This is 2025. We want to focus on the politicians and the people stealing our money or something like that. Deji Adeyanju put up that thing. As at then, I never relate Deji Adeyanju with all these pastors. But I know he's always singing the praises of pastors on his page, especially Baba Oshunsengeshe. But I know I didn't even put any attachment to it, okay? He can do anything on his page. But when he now put up that post, I was not even still thinking it has anything to do with Abraham Daniels. When VDM now came out yesterday to bring out that video, I was like, this video has been so long. Why didn't you complain then? Why are you complaining now? At a time when this guy is facing a lot, you don't beat somebody that is already down. When it comes to humanity, somebody is already down, you don't beat them. That is my philosophy, and that is the philosophy of humanity. Somebody is already down, and you now go and meet that person, you stand trample on that person again. You know, what sort of heart is that? So my question is, why are they bringing it out now? When I came back in the evening, I saw Deji Adeyanju calling Abraham Daniel a scam. He said, this guy that is a scam. And you, Deji Adeyanju, that you call yourself a lawyer, you know what it is to call somebody a name. That is what is called real defamation. You said, Abraham, I have screenshot that thing for you and I kept it. If Abraham Daniel should come out, he should sue you, Deji Adeyanju. You said he is a scam. Did this scam you? Now, VDM is blaming that man for beating his children. Abba, you say you want to help somebody. You now say because that person beat his child, you don't want to help again. How can you come and tell me because I spank my children? You don't know the full story of what went on between him and the wife. The wife that you are supposed to hold responsible. 2 children, 2 of Abraham's children were abused. One by a pastor. You did not do anything about that. Eneche, that is drawing this family close, knew that a 13-year-old daughter of that woman was abused. He didn't do anything. Let me use my gloves, please. Eneche knew that girl was abused by a pastor. Eneche did not do anything. The mother of the child did not do anything until the father heard about it, and the father came out and said, please help me. Nigerians, help me. If he did not love his children, he would not say, help me. The mother did not cry out for help. The church, embracing the mother to scatter the home, did not do anything to help the child until Abraham Daniels came out. If Abraham Daniels wanted to be like some Nigerian men, some Nigerian father, he would say, Ọlọ́run ló mú wọn. Shebi the mother don't carry the children go. He go say, now God catch them. He will not do anything. But this man came out. And you said in the process of him coming out, he begged you for money. And you said you were going to help him. You read it and you say you gave your word. And I think that was why that guy kept persisting until he became frustrated. And he was wondering. And he saw all the money coming in. And he mentioned that you offended this guy, Kilorukwe, that you offended Don Jazzy. And Don Jazzy was still able to contribute 100 million naira into your charity fund. That if Don Jazzy can do that for you, please, I need just 900,000 to fix my car so that I can start walking back. I need to fend for my family. I need to be a man. I need to stand as a man. Very dark man. Deji Adeyanju, all of you are men. How does it feel for a man finding himself on the floor and he cannot fend for his family? You now came out at a time. Ma, if you watch what VDM posted today, he clears so much here on this. I'll go there. At a time, the man is really, I've not really gone on social media to see what is going on anyway. Because it's no longer I woke up, I just posted something, slept back, then got up now. At a time, this man is already facing a serious situation. You now brought another case. There is a scammer. Is a this thing. And everything that the pastor, the ex-pastors have told about him, I have not seen where they said this guy mismanaged fund. There is no allegation of fund mismanagement. If the guy wanted to be a thief, if he wanted to be a thief, he had every opportunity to be one when he was pastoring the church. And for some of you that did not follow this case, I will still go to VDM's page, but at this point, I am not trusting VDM on this case again. At a point, this guy mentioned, maybe you guys did not follow the interview. He started having problem with Eneche when he said he wanted to start a school as the pastor of the church. You can see the crowd he was pulling. He now said the crowd, the school, he wants to start the school so that the poor can be attending the school, free school. So God bless you. Famon, tali o sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn náà. Famson, thank you very much. You followed the interview. He now said that was when they started falling apart. He wanted to make the school free. Eneche doesn't want it free. So they started from there and they were having issues. I can't go through the interview, but we are going to go through 2 interviews now. I didn't know the wife was going to come out. I was talking about him some days ago. Then I saw him watching my video and he commented to greet me. Say, Mama, how are you? I said, Abraham Daniels, please. I saw your daughter with Pastor Eneche, embracing Pastor Eneche. And I saw your post saying your child has abandoned you for Pastor Eneche. What is going on? Can you come on board? And the guy came on board to explain how the family fell apart. I am not saying it is compulsory for them to dash him money. They don't have to. But I'm saying they should have spoken about this case weeks ago when that guy brought out the video, when he spoke about VDM. I said they should have spoken about it. VDM should have addressed the case then, but he did not. Why now? Why now? Somebody said he just dropped a video. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré gbọ́. Your mama. Okay. Pastor Eneche, arrest the man that did the podcast. Wọ́n tún ti gbẹ́ni tó ṣe podcast. They have arrested the person that did podcast too. Oh yeah, let us listen to this one before we go on. I have given you heads up. They are not playing any maturity. Alaya Masco. Èmi àti ẹ máa argue lórí eléyìí. They are not playing any maturity. They want to nail him the more. They should have brought out the video. Immediately that guy accused very dark man. He should have come out and addressed the issue immediately. This is about almost 2 months ago. Why didn't he address it then? Why now? Why on a day that he was being locked up? Abba. àbá ẹ jẹ́ ká máa fi nǹkan ṣírò ara wa kí lẹ́yìn tí ò jẹ́ kó jáde tó bá fẹ́ tó bá if he wants to be nice he will allow that guy to come out then he will say God that God help you say you come out na God help you say you come out this is what you said about me when they arrested Darkman the last time all of us we came out we started screaming release him oh release him oh release him even though we knew that uniform he went to wear was wrong. We started arguing it. It is not police uniform. It is not kinikon. Abba. Ó lè wá jáde o. Kó wá ṣe nǹkan mi o. Ká wá lélẹ̀ tó ṣe yìí kò dáa. Why did they bring the case out as at this time? At a very crucial time. A time that guy is already totally on the floor. You saw him with handcuff. I posted the picture. You saw him. He did not steal. He did not buy person. He only went to grant interview to speak about his experience. And you saw him with handcuff. Don't chain him, Mokini. There is another case Harrison Gwamishu just brought out. Where you are saying they are trampling on human rights, people's fundamental human rights in that country. You people, it is until it comes to you, then you know we need to speak up. A woman that was owing money with pregnancy, go and see what Nigerian police did to him. I mean to the woman with pregnancy. Because she's owing somebody money, her ex-husband, and they chain her to a gate. My question is, what is Deji Adeyanju's stake? What is his interest in this case? After Deji has abused that guy very well, he now said, I hope Nigerian police will do the needful because it is wrong to. Deji, with or without you, that guy will gain his freedom. Adeyanju Deji, with or without you, that guy will gain his freedom. With or without you people, that guy will get help. We may not assist any other pastor victim again, no, but this particular one, we will stand by him and he will get his life back. If he wanted to be a bad person, he has every avenue, every opportunity to steal when he was the pastor of that church. Go and look at what many pastors are doing under their GOs. Go and look how many of them have stolen a lot. He had every opportunity. Every accusation on this guy, there is no single accusation of theft on this guy. Anyway, let's listen to what the Valley Darkman is saying.
A Christian or believe in God power or Jesus Christ. In a little way, I have spoken and helped folks with.
They said they have arrested another person that did podcast. You see a lot of podcasts on YouTube from American people and all over the world. How many of them have been arrested the way they arrest people in Nigeria? People come out, they talk of their experience, they mention names. It was people that busted Benny Hinn's miracle. Not only many other pastors' miracle here in America. And that is why here in America, you cannot see any American pastor doing miracle anymore. Up till now, they are still dragging TD Jakes. He has not arrested anybody. As long as the issue is on social media, they are talking, you have a right to talk about it. Nobody is supposed to be arrested. But because Nigeria is a country where anything goes, and until it happens to you, and because they are your pastors, we all know Deji is a Christian. That when it comes to Christianity, we know people don't have what is called logic anymore, as long as religion is concerned. And one thing I want to ask Deji, is like Deji too is benefiting from what is going on in that country. Is benefiting from the pastors too. The corruption. How many times has Deji spoken about he said he's fighting the government, Abi? How many times has Deji spoken about the pastor that carry our money to South Africa? Is a pastor. The same pastor is still going around, whining and dining with all the other pastors. Right? We see our governors, our politicians inside church donating money. How many times has they condemned these acts? How many times has it come out to condemn this kind of acts? So because somebody has offended one of their pastors, he now thought this is an opportunity to finish the man. Keep your kind of help that you want to give to Abraham. And I'm very sure when you knew it was Eneche he was having problem with. Eneche, we all know, is a son to Pastor Kilongpe. What is this man's name? Oyedepo's son. We all know he's a spiritual son to Oyedepo. And Oyedepo, you are very close to Oyedepo. We all know. He's your spirit. They are all your spiritual father. So as long as it is them, they can do anything and do anything. That is why you thought it as an opportunity for you to finish that guy. Wọ́n rú Eneche ní Dèjì. Wọ́n rú Eneche ó wá ti very dark man. Orí kò ju fídíò yẹn sí time yẹn. Ìkànnì gbogbo yín. Why can't you wait for him to finish this case? Why did you have to bring that video out and be calling him names? Show scam any. The pastor did not even say he scam anybody. Please, if you see any crazy comments, let me know. Eba mi dárúkọ ẹni yẹn, màá lè block ẹni yẹn. Ẹ ń ṣí èrè. Ẹ̀yin tó ti jọpọ̀ yín.
In God or Jesus Christ. In my little way, I have. All right, so please pay attention to this, right? So the news says court remand Pastor Eneche's brothers and ex-Dunamis pastor in prison over alleged defamation. Now, if you remember, this guy by the right, he came out recently on a podcast to say that most of the miracle Pastor Eneche does, they are all RNG miracle. Now they don't arrest him. I see a lot of people, they comment, oh, why would they arrest him for defamation and all that? Wait. Before you start to defend this guy, make I can't tell now my personal experience with this particular guy. But I know the kind of person this guy be. When I watch that podcast, there are no great talk, right? Now, make I give you a story. If you look at this picture, you will see me, and by my side is Barrister Deji Adeyanju.
It's the same video now.
The guy. Now, I saw a video.
Which one are you talking
of?
So
good news. I heard that that's SSA.
Am I confusing me? It's still the same video. Which one are you talking of? That you just released another video. I didn't see any new video concerning that. Am I can waste time? Anyway, what ti ọ̀bẹ ti gé ọmọ lọ́wọ́? You have done what you want to do. You have painted Abraham Daniels the way you want to paint him. They have sent you message. We all know Deji Adeyanju is your mentor. Àbí kí la fẹ́ pè? He told you, put it out there. This is the time to put the video out there. Even the justice for the daughter, you guys did not get it for her. You said the case is still in court. And presently, as I'm talking, they are trying to file a case against police for detaining them without due process. They are trying to see how they can secure their bail as I am talking. Whatever the update later, I will let you guys know, because they have no right to detain those guys based on the case on ground. The worst they can do is to take them to court and let the judge decide. The first day they held them down, there was no paper from the court to hold them down. They said they just carried them. They were taking them around anyhow. Then the second day, which was yesterday, was when they now went to court to go and collect document from the court to remand them. So as of this morning, they are in court. As I'm talking, maybe they are done, but they were in court. I spoke with them not quite long. They are in court, and whatever it is, I will let you guys know. In fact, I learned even Reno Omokri is one of the people they are supposed to detain. But because Reno Omokri is not in Nigeria, I thought Reno Omokri too is a Christian. Anyway, that is what I heard, and I'm putting the information out there. And like you all know, I play an audio where they said one Auntie Duni, she's one of the people that they need to arrest and lock up too. And I've told you guys, come and carry me in America. Go and collect visa. Write letter to American government. Say because I dey talk, in a one come nobody should call me. Kí ló mo máa block ẹni mo ti máa ń sọ fún ẹ. Tí bá ti ń ṣe show, you are fond of calling me and you are watching me, I will block your number. Anyway, so yesterday they rolled out another video. Like I told you, I'm giving you heads up. This is going to be a little bit long. They rolled out a video in trying to launder the image of, to clean up the image of Eneche. That his miracle is real. We are not denying that it's not real. But we are saying if the miracle is real, let him go to the hospital. Pick one patient, and do miracle on those ones. Just one patient. Okay? So they've been bringing different people out, even before now, since last week, to come and be saying they are testifying. They are testifying. They are testifying. He has done miracle for them. That is not the case now. I want to talk on the wife that came out. The wife of Abraham. And I'm so glad that she's coming out at a time when Abraham was talking. I didn't know the wife was going to come out, which was, I think, on Friday or so. I was just doing my show, Gege, and Abraham was walking by, and I saw him greeting me. I said, Abraham Daniel, I'm wondering why your daughter is embracing people that are throwing you in jail. And I said, can you please come and tell us what is going on? Why is your family this divided? You know? And the guy came on. For some of you who didn't get to see that video, I posted it, I reposted it, but I'm not sure a lot of people see it because my page, Facebook page especially, is on restriction. And I did not do the show on TikTok. So I am going to play where the guy... Oh, okay, Olumi, is that why you are calling? Okay, I will post it. Thank you very much. Moti, I will block you, I will block you. Anyway, so the guy now came in and explained some things for me. To us. I was not on TikTok on that day. I was only on Facebook and YouTube. So I am going to play where he explained what is going on, how the family became divided, the role of him and the wife in the ministry and everything. So I'm going to play it for us to hear. Then after that, I am going to let us listen together to the interview the wife granted. And from there, we take it up. So it's going to be a long one. I'm giving you a heads up, like I said. Keep where I will block. So this is what I'm saying. If you are going to church, especially these one-man business churches, one-man business center that you call churches, you go as a family, two of you are involved, you are finished as a family. Because the day, especially if you are useful, the day you say you don't want to do again, your family can never remain the same. Okay, this is the video. Is your family involved so much that you are having issues and we see your family embracing your ex-pastor?
Thank you so much, distinguished Mama. Yes, I got married in 2004 in Assemblies of God, Otukpo, Benue State. And when I got married, I met my ex-wife. She is from a family where her mother gave birth to three of them for three different men. And she never knew her dad. It was at the graveyard or the graveside of her father that they showed her father. When I met her, she was thrown out. And she told me her story. It was very pathetic. But for me, I believed in her because we all have a terrible past. But I believe that she can become a better person. And I stood by her. We got married. When we got married, Vivian was our first child. She was born the following year, 2005, January 11th. My mother-in-law refused to come to even see the baby. And my mother-in-law is a nurse. She refused to come to see the baby in the same city. She warned all her siblings that nobody, the other siblings, nobody should step to see that child. I had no issue about that. I took care of my daughter until I had another one until I had another one. And in 2007, I left my Benue State for Abuja. We relocated to Abuja. When we relocated to Abuja in 2007, my ex-wife was the one that told me about Dunamis Church. And that was how I got to know Dunamis Church. Then we have had another one, the fourth child. And I joined Dunamis Church, did their Bible school, and I became a staff. Now, when we joined Dunamis Church, I took care of my children. Let me be very honest, all my children, I did babysitting for all of them. I hardly sleep at night. I make sure I bathe them, even though they are ladies, but then they were very tender. I make sure I attend to everything that pertains to them. My ex-wife is on the big size. Is on the big size. So she hardly do some of this domestic job. Even when that was happening, if you ask anybody that know me in Dunamis Church, I was working in production because my work in production was very hectic. I would wake up very early as 4 a.m. Then I was living around Kurudu, and because of traffic in Abuja then, I would leave very early with about 3 children. I will go to the office very early, we'll balance our sleep. I will meet them there, wear them uniform, we'll sleep around 7, and they wake up and join the school. Now, even when they had issue of school fees, I will never allow anybody to drive my child. I was doing that for my children. Now, there was a time Dr. Eneche noticed, and she was saying, she's seen how the demand is high on me, that if she can give my wife employment, because I was very good at my job. Sometimes, even when other people have closed, I will remain in the office and make sure everything is done. Due to that commitment, they said, okay, she said she can employ my ex-wife. I told my ex-wife she became a staff. My ex-wife had issue with other staff, they sacked her. She returned back to status quo. Since I married her, she was not doing anything like working. I provide for the house. Now, when I became a pastor, I can tell you how many, I can't count how many times I've given her $500,000 to start up a business.
Did you resign to
Yes,
be a
we will.
full-time
We will listen
pastor?
to
You
the
were
wife
still
soon.
working along the side.
So,
No, I was working as a full-time pastor.
Okay.
Full-time.
somebody is asking, are we going to? Yes, we will listen to the wife's video. That is why I'm playing this. Then I will now play the wife's own. Then you will start seeing, then I'll start pointing out some things there. And I'm sure you too, as you are listening, please take all the points, all he's saying about how he was committed to the work, how he's very, very dedicated. He was there with the wife. He's going to tell us how he met the wife. Just listen to everything, please. Because it was after this video, they now brought the wife out yesterday. You know, they brought the wife out to come and counter this particular video interview he had with me. It was not a plan. People that were on live that day I just saw him passing by. Say, Mama, how are you? And I saw him watching me. I said, we are talking about you. Please, can you join me on this show? And he said, why not? He tried to join. The network wasn't allowing us. Then I said, okay, call in. Then we called and he started explaining.
I was very good because I do technical things. So sometimes people can come and even I will solve their problem for them. They pay me for it.
Oh, okay.
Which as a staff.
So you were still doing some side job along the line, being a full-time pastor?
Yes.
Okay.
So I remember sometimes I even went to get a loan. I set up a boutique for her. To be honest with you, it was my personal money I used to pay a staff salary until when I noticed that I need to resign.
Staff salary in the church?
No, the boutique staff salary.
Okay, the boutique salary, the boutique you open for your wife.
Yeah, the staff.
Okay. She was not running the business well or what?
No, she was not running the business well. Story
Okay.
upon story.
I
remember very well. I was living in New Newcastle, sorry. But the New Nyanya police station, the woman she did business with, called police for her. I am calling them so that people can even confirm. Call police for her. I had to beg them. I paid off the debt she was owing the woman. As a pastor, there are policies that we don't tolerate. For instance, a pastor's wife introducing church members to a business. A pastor's wife doing business with church member. I warned my ex-wife, she never listed. She introduced business to the location. I said, this is not part of the policy. Now, it was Long Reach. If you know Long Reach, all this multimedia kind of
publication.
Long Reach, they said, yes, they sell toothpaste, they sell cream, and they'll tell you, bring 3 people kind of.
Okay,
She introduced one of the minister on the altar.
Oh, okay.
Do you know that on Sunday while I was preaching, my ex-wife had quarrel with one of the minister, a male. My ex-wife slapped this man. What I am telling you, my accountant is still alive. His name is Albert. My assistant pastor is still alive, Victor. So these are details I'm giving. I'm not trying to, it's not like I'm trying to tarnish anybody's image. No, I don't do that. Now, when that happened, my ex-wife became a thorn on my flesh. Her attitude, church members noticed it. The rudeness, the arrogance. So when I wanted to resign, I took her along. The first time I wanted to submit my resignation letter, I went with her.
When I was getting my husband to resign,
the second daughter is perfection. It was 2 of them that drafted my resignation letter using my laptop.
How old were they at this time? How old were your children at this time?
At that time, it was around 2018. So if you remember, I think Elijah was around
16 years old.
Yes. Yes, thank you. It was around that time. My children went to school early. I make sure I spent for them. So they were even going to Goshen. If you live, anybody in Abuja that is watching, if you live in Karo, the new Karo, I used to drive them to Goshen. That is Living Faith School, Goshen, where Bishop Adio was. They were schooling there. So I personally used to drive them because I don't like people taking care of my family. Now, when the resignation came, it was my first daughter, Lillian, and Perfection, that drafted the resignation letter. I submitted. It was as soon as I resigned that all hell let loose. Now, my ex-wife became something else.
Immediately he resigned.
The computer system. I bought about 10 computers. I had the play game. I had about 3 generators.
That was not a lazy man.
My ex-wife refused to step into that place.
Because you resigned for being a pastor.
Yes, she said she will never. I told her, I have a computer school. I was teaching people computer. I had a game. The game said in a day at least, if income doesn't come at least 5,000-10,000 as of that time, in 2018 and 19. Now I beg, I said, okay, please, at least manage this place. Because I was still doing churches. So I was getting invitation to go and preach outside Abuja. And that was like a help for me because if I go, you know how it is as a pastor,
yes,
I'll be given honorarium.
Yes,
so,
like Esther could.
Yes. Thank you so much. Now, my ex-wife refused. She said she will never step in there because she wanted me, because when I resigned, they gave me a disengagement package. She wanted me to give her that money so that she would put it into Long Reach. I said, no.
Okay, hold on. You said they gave you disengagement package, like a retirement benefit or something like that.
Yeah, for resigning, they give you a disengagement package.
So it was not as if you had problem with them when you were leaving.
I resigned. I was
willingly.
It was not willingly.
So, Kojani,
when Dr. Paul
he did not
saw my resignation letter, it pained him so much that this thing can make somebody run mad. But I told him I need to go. The explanation I gave him was based on our differences because the pastor himself was not comfortable with me in my stand about the way I criticize the church. Because yes, so I told him it is better I leave. So the excuse I told him was I was setting up a business center, and I didn't tell him I was even opening a church because I knew his sentiment. So I was avoiding that angle. So when I left, these people were in touch with my ex-wife. They would be calling her, but I never knew. Telling her that your husband have left the cover and things are not going well with her. Now, in 2018, around December, Ambrose robbed me. Now, it came to my house. Yeah, my ex-wife was not even around. She traveled to Lagos that she wanted to go and do business. She left us and the children. Ambrose robbed us. Now, when the Ambrose came, I gave them everything. They took my laptop, took everything. And my ex-wife was away. Now, when she got to know, it took her like 1 week before she came back and she went on a business trip. I couldn't question her because at that point, She was just doing whatever she wanted. Now, when she came back, they started telling her that because I've left the cover, the armed robber came to the house. I told her armed robber can visit anybody. Nobody, because I was living in it. Armed robber can visit anybody. It's not because of anything. But they now brought up a topic that I must return back to Dunamis Church for peace to reign. I beg her, I say, see, I have left Dunamis. I have my life now. Can we build together? I didn't marry you in Dunamis. She insisted. And she started making the home here. I started the ministry there. I call it was Kingdom Culture Network. My ex-wife, we come for service and go and sit at the back. Church people will come and see my wife seated at the back. So it was becoming a ridicule. How can your wife that should be part of you is seated at the back? We that have passion for this, how do we even follow up? So at one point, when I saw that attitude, I closed the place. I started using my sitting room. My ex-wife will not come until maybe when the meeting is running out, she just come and sit down. I said, no, it's not possible. At one point, my BP started rising. I had to begin to take BP drugs. Now, I said, what do I? She said, I must return back to Dunamis. I said, okay. I said, now, I don't have enough money. Where I am living, how do I go to airport road? I was living in New Caro. He said, whatever I need to do, I must go back. I have to now sell all the computer, house rent. I sold all the computers, sell generator. Till now, the house rent of that place, I didn't even collect it. We moved to airport road that is very close to Dunamis. That was when I now called Dr. Paul and I said, based on this, I want to return back. He welcomed me. And I'll be going there with the family. I'll just go and sit somewhere and be pressing my phone because I was not in tune with what they were doing. It kept on like that until one day I told her, I said, please, I beg her, I said, see, whatever you will do to me, do. But for now, I can't go there again. I'm not okay. That was when the problem started. She said, no way. Now, let me tell you the story. My mother came to visit me because that period, Dr. Paul had called police for me. My ex-wife asked me to leave the house. So the car I was using, I put my clothes inside the car. I was sleeping in the car. Or if I see a hotel, I would just sleep in that hotel. It's a hotel of 3,000. I'll sleep there. Early in the morning, I continue to do my boat business because I got a car then or higher purchase I was using for boat. Now,
wow.
The whole thing happened. My mother came because when I came out of prison, I returned back home. My mother came to visit us. The place my mother used to cook, my ex-wife used to make food for me. I did not wash it. It was at the sink. My ex-wife asked my mother to come and wash the plate. And that was, I said, what is happening? And she said, because I left Dunamis, even when Dr. Paul used police to arrest me, my ex-wife never bothered though. Dr. Paul arrested me and gave my ex-wife 200,000 for them to be okay. That let him learn lesson.
And she collected it. And she knew you were arrested.
She knew now.
What is the 200? What is the 200 for?
Take care of the children. Let them eat in case they don't have money. Let me be there, languish in the prison. So when I came out, I saw all of that. I said, how will you? Eneche that locked me. Eneche put me in prison for doing nothing. The only thing I wrote was that if anything happened to my family, Eneche should be held responsible because it was involved in my family.
Okay. So that is where the police issue started from.
Yes, now.
Because your family was falling apart.
Yes. I needed him to hands off my family. They were calling.
Don't worry, you will listen to the wife's song.
Anywhere, if I go to work, if I return back, attitude will change. I will say what is happening in this house. So I think this. So my ex-wife made the house of parents. So the only thing was let's divorce. I wanted to divorce her, but my mother.
Ta ló sọ pé your evil followed you? Ta ló ń bá wí pé evil follow ẹ? Ṣé ẹni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀? Ṣó ṣe ẹ ni? I have said I am warning everyone ahead pé tí n bá while I'm doing the show mi ì fẹ́ crazy comment ó yá kúrò lórí page yìí. You think I'm joking? ń bọ̀ mo fẹ́ block èèyàn kan. ṣé kìí ṣe wrong person ni mo lọ ṣe ṣá? Hopefully not. kí ló dé tó fi stop?
I said no.
It's almost
in our
done.
place,
Then
we
we'll
don't
listen to
divorce our
the
wives.
wife zone.
What we do is we send them back to their place to go there, spend some time to learn.
Multi-block.
If they repent, then now return back. So when I heard my mother told me that, I had to listen to her. And later now, my ex-wife filed for divorce. When she filed for divorce, she got 2 lawyers. I defended myself because that time I was already broke because I was pursuing Dunamis court case. I was also pursuing divorce case. Our uncle that was Air Vice Marshal, if you come to court case, they had Air Force people everywhere. So I've seen things in this life. Air Force in the court as if I say, what is this? High level of intimidation. I remember vividly. In customary court, they have 3 judges. One of the judges told me that, you know that if you settle with Dr. Paul Eneche, this divorce will not happen. I said, why will Dr. Paul be too involved in my family? I have left. Is it a crime that I didn't marry my ex-wife in Dunamis? So why must it be that if it is not Dunamis, it can't be Dunamis? There'll be no peace in there. I said, no, if that will lead to divorce, let it happen. So they gave a joint custody. It was during that COVID-19, the judgment came out, gave a joint custody, and my ex-wife hid the children from me. I look for my children for where? I look for my children. Our uncle dad is an Air Vice Marshal, retired Air Vice Marshal. I went to the house.
This is where I want VDM to come and listen to. That is meddling, and he said because the man was fighting the wife and he tried to hide the children from the woman, he needs to come and listen to this. How long it took the man before he could see his children the last time when he cried out that one of them has been molested? That was when he had access to them.
Knock on the gate, nobody responded. I returned back home. I called the father, nobody refused. They refused to, because the supposed father, the uncle that became the father, nobody listened to me. Until one time, I got a call and I knew where they were. The little, if I go to work, I buy things. Anytime I'm around there, I go and give them. I check with my children. My ex-wife was telling them they want to travel abroad and all that. I said, come. Can we start in little? These children, you know how much we have spent on their education. In Nigeria, we have schools. I cannot afford abroad. I cannot afford it. The one I can afford, let's do it. He said, no way. Her children will not school in Nigeria. And she's not doing anything. Now, I said, well, if you cannot listen to me on this, what will I do? Now, allowed her. I said, well, any school you can afford, the little I have, I will contribute. Now, while I was doing that, then I had accommodation issue I didn't know. They moved to one uncompleted building I never knew. She refused to tell me, refused to tell anybody. If I call her, people doing, we are fine. Until one day now she opened up. I went to see my children in an uncompleted building. Oh, I felt like crying. I said, give me these children. What is the problem? Because I know that you don't have capacity to take care of children. I am living in 2 bedrooms. Give me my children. Anytime you want to visit them or they want you to visit, it will come. She said, no way. So I just left. That was when they started going to one church. They left Dunamis church that they are not going to Dunamis church again because she had a fallout with Dr. Paul Eneche and the wife.
And they went to bring her
now.
now.
Started going to another church. Now that church, if anybody hearing me is Wuye. Wuye is another part of Abuja. The pastor, it was from there, the pastor raped my daughter.
Oh! Yeah, the case of that your 13-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Renomo Chris' brother.
Yeah, stepbrother. It was from there.
Stepbrother.
That rape. Yes, stepbrother. It was there that rape took place. And
Oh,
when the rape
God.
happened, Mama, if I tell you my story, you think was when the rape happened, Mama.
Don't use the word. Just use R word, please.
When the RAPE happened, I was not aware. She hid it from me. They were going to court until her friend that they were doing business to my ex-wife cheated her, made her to sell her car because my ex-wife told her that there's a business with the presidency and that she has a connection with presidency, and the woman should bring money so that they can pursue the contract. So when the woman sold her car, gave them the money, the whole thing hook. Now the woman the house my ex-wife was living, they threw her out of the house. The woman now moved them to one of her house because the woman is living in 2-bedroom. She now put them in one of the room while she was in the other room with her child. She just had a key. Now, it was the same woman. When she noticed that the damage was too much, the woman now started looking for me on social media until she saw me on Facebook.
This is how we got to
Mama,
know.
let me shock you. Because it is already on social media, my first daughter was also molested.
Did you hear?
Other
their mother, two of the children.
One thing in this life, I have seen, throughout my marriage to that woman, I never cheated on her one day for that 15 years. So, when the woman
and the pastor could not fight for this one.
That was RAP. I said, how? He can't have force. I'm in Abuja. See, if somebody RAP my daughter, and immediately I was sweating. I didn't believe. I ignored her. Maybe it's just prank. She now started saying that voice note. Looking for them. The woman told the address. I went there. My children were locked in a room. They were eating snacks for like over a week. They don't cook, nothing, just snacks. I told them, why? They were crying when they saw me. I said, why did you go hide from me? She don't want to she doesn't want me to see her like a failure. I said, you're a failure already. It's not, my daughter was RAP. I couldn't tell me. That was when, in April last year, that was when I now took it to social media. I was the one that took it to social media. Because I knew the people were...
Yes, I remember. It was when I was even talking this afternoon. I remember. I said, come on. You were the one that brought the case of that little baby girl outside.
Yeah, because I had to bring it up because I knew the family we were coming for. Now the case, they had to transfer the case from where it was to another high court. They got a son. So the politics was much when they gave me the breakdown. So I needed to loud it until very Darkman again for my hand. And I have seen things in this life. So when that happened, I started following. I now took 2, 3, 4 of them to my house. I live in 2 bedrooms. So I gave them one room, the master bedroom. I told my new wife we moved to the other room. I told them, please relax. I was doing both at least in a day. We can eat. I started working for her admission to go to Uni Agri, Benue State University of Agriculture. I've contacted so that she can school there. One day I went to work. My first daughter with the sibling, they pretended as if they just want to stroll. That was how they booked a ride and left. When my
this was when VDM said they ran from their father's house.
I said, how? Only from the money I didn't give them, I gave them like 5,000 naira to take care of themselves. They left it on the table. I came
they
back.
Said it was, the VDM said it was 3,000.
They didn't carry one cloth. That was how they left this house. I just called my ex-wife to be sure. He said they are with her. I said, how? How will you know what you have taken these children through? 2 of my children molested under your custody. When I saw my children, I was almost crying. My children, their indulgences, if you see the way they indulge, phone, social media, internet, I was almost crying. Okay. Sometimes you will travel and leave these children. So since then, I lost touch until when I saw my daughter with Dr. Paul Eneche.
Until yesterday, this yesterday?
That yesterday. Of course, there was a time I got the rumor that she remarried and changed the children's name. I tried to, yes, change the children's name. And I don't want to, one thing is, right now, I'm not buoyant financially. So if I want to take legal action, it will cost me. And I know the people backing her like Eneche and co. So I avoid unnecessary fights. I have to select my fight so that I don't break down. So I just, but I have a son. I have a son. The last one among them is a boy. So I'm planning.
Anyway, so let us go to the wife's interview. This one is almost finishing.
when I'm buoyant,
this is not, the other things are not so relevant. So let us go to the wife's interview. I should have played the wife's interview first before this one. But since we have played this one, no problem. But let us go to the wife's interview. Ẹ̀yin obìnrin ẹjọ́ ṣọ́ra, wọ́n náà tún ti dáná sun obìnrin kan kí a máa ṣe nǹkan o. This is the interview.
In our midst, and without wasting much of our time, I'm just going to go straight into it. First, before we start, we would like you, man, to please introduce yourself to us on the show.
Okay. Can you hear very well?
My name is Martina Blessing Lewis.
Okay, we welcome you to Encounter. We are glad that you are able to make it here. We know you are.
Yeah, before I go on, please, I want to put up his the GoFundMe account we have put up for him. We are trying to raise up for him. Our own is not about whether he's fighting the wife or he's not fighting the wife. Our own is we are seeing a sinking man. We are seeing a man that is sinking. We are seeing a man that found himself with the wrong people and he needs help. That is all I'm seeing. His family issue is his problem. Hopefully they're able to sort it out. If they are not able to sort it out, people should just learn from this. So I'm going to pin his GoFundMe account on I think I can do it easily on Facebook. I'm going to put it in the comment section. Please, we are trying to raise help for Abraham. Please, please, please. We are begging you to get this man back on his feet. For a man to start begging the way I had in that video that they played yesterday, I was almost weeping for him. So I'm going to place it at the comment section. I'm going to pin it. Any star money you want to give me, please put it towards the GoFundMe instead, please. Any star money you think you want to give me, put it in the GoFundMe, no matter how little, please. That is my plea. I'm trying to pin it. Hold on, please. Account wo ni mo fi wọlé tí kíní yóò fẹ́ jẹ́ kí n pin. Okay. So I'm trying to pin, me ò rí pin in him. I'll put it in a, let me do it again. Please, if you see the comments, I've put it on comment section. Help me to click like on it so it will be easy for me to pin. I can put it on YouTube too. And I think I should be able to do it on TikTok. Please, we are trying to raise help for him. Nothing is too little, nothing is too much. We want him to come back on his feet as a man. Wọ́n fẹ́ kó parẹ́ ni àwọn ò ní jẹ́ kó parẹ́. Because the frustration bá pọ̀ jù, ẹ̀dá lè parẹ́. Nothing is too little, nothing is too much. We want him to come back on his feet as a man. Wọ́n fẹ́ kó parẹ́ ni, but àwọn ò ní jẹ́ kó parẹ́. Because once a man's life is torn apart this way, your family torn apart, your job. Sorry. Because once a man's life is torn apart this way, your family torn apart. Okay. Your job. Sorry. Okay, I've pinned it on YouTube. Yes, let me try and pin it on TikTok, please. We are trying to raise help for Abraham, like I said. Mi ò mọ̀ bóyá TikTok máa ń gbarú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o. Mi ò fẹ́ wàhálà TikTok o. Mi ò mọ̀ bóyá, I don't know if they allow it. But please, you will see it on Facebook. We don't want to do Naira because of what is going on. You know, he's having issues. Come on, lock. We don't want them locking their account. So we are not doing Naira, just the GoFundMe for now. I don't have a Naira account. Okay, ṣé mo lè lo Naira? I like keeping record and accountability. So I would prefer GoFundMe. Me office. I don't want to do naira. If the money is going into his own account, it will have been okay. The money is meant for him. I don't like collecting money on behalf of people. I have account I can put down, maybe call somebody else, but I don't want to do that, please. So bear with me. Okay, that's how I do my stuff here because of accountability and transparency. So I would have preferred the money to go into his account. For the GoFundMe, everybody will see how much is coming in. He too will see it, then he can get his money. So that is the GoFundMe that we have opened for him. So if you want to do anything, maybe if he's now out, we can now say, okay, he is free, at least for him to get his life back. I don't want to repeat that video where he was begging. That video really got me. It was as if I wish I am very rich. Honestly, I would have written a check of 10 million. I say, take. If he comes out, I will say, take. Go and sort your life out. The downfall of a man is not the end of his life. And let us listen to the wife before I continue. His mistake is going to sign to be a full-time pastor. Because if you're going to listen to the wife now, you will see where the wife said he was a hard-working man. He had his business, he was doing well. His mistake was going to sign to be a full-time housewife, full-time pastor. Even part-time pastor. I have told you, one-man church, signing is signing your life away. Signing is telling you, the pastor, that he owns you. He owns your life. He owns everything about you. He will be the one to tell you how far you can go, how far you cannot go. Things you can do, things you cannot do. And once whatever you want to do is going to affect their business, they will tell you it is not God God is not talking to you. God is telling you don't do it. It doesn't matter even if it's going to help your own family. And they don't care if your family is not moving forward. As long as you are bringing money for them, that is all they care about. So let's go to the woman's interview now. Don't let me take your time because that's like an hour interview. I'll be coming now that we have listened to his own. I'll be coming in between to say one or two things.
Give us this time and this privilege to speak with you.
Thank you.
Martina is also
Power on.
was the
Bluetooth
ex-wife
mode.
of Daniel Abraham. And as you all
Connected.
know, we took it
What's going on?
center. How the miracles. Today we have a unique personality in our midst. And without wasting much of our time, I'm just going to go straight into it. First, before we start, we would like you, man, to please introduce yourself to us on the show.
Okay, thank you, sir. My name is Martina Blessing Louis.
Okay, we welcome you to Encounter. We are glad that
Thank
you
you.
are able to make it here. We know you are very busy.
Thank you, sir.
For giving us this time and this privilege to speak with you.
Thank you.
Martina is also was the ex-wife of Daniel Abraham. And as you all know, we took it upon ourselves to do one or two investigations concerning the allegation made against the Church of Christ, especially against the Dunamis International Hospital.
The guy did not make allegation. He made allegation against Eneche, and he's questioning some things in Christianity.
How the miracles performed there are fake or staged, and so many things that were being said. We are already making our investigations, trying to bring the truth to light, and this is one of the reasons why we are speaking to his ex-wife here today. Now, my first question to you: how did you meet your ex-husband, Abraham Daniel? Could you share with us about your journey with him from when you met him and when you became family?
Sure. Okay. I met Abraham Daniel in Abuja, Wuse
Okay.
Market. He was operator at the time, had his phone booth where he was repairing phones and selling phones, MTN SIM cards.
Please help me to love and like. They are flagging my Facebook. Help me to love and like and reshare. Let me pause. Help me to love and like and reshare. They are flagging the Facebook show. I made mistake when I was doing the setting. I should have limited it to followers only. Please help me love and like and reshare. They've been all over social media defending, and I'm saying it clearly. Many of you are still going to be victim. There is no shortcut to it. Many of you are going to experience what this guy has experienced. Many of you will experience worst. And you know what? Social media is not going to be there for anybody as from now. I particularly, I don't know of any other person. This is my own page. I will never, you know why I'm raising up for this one? It is not just happening. We are campaigning, we are screaming, we are shouting it. Anyone that becomes their victim again, please help me to love and like. They have really flagged the Facebook page. I have seen their hand. Help me to reshare, then we continue. They know the lie inside this video. They know the truth. This woman's video I'm going to play, they know it's going to vindicate Abraham. That is why they are flagging it. Many people they didn't get to see it. The only people that got to see it are their members. And I particularly purposely did not share it. Because number one, they might use it to flag my page. In fact, yesterday, this my Facebook page, around 10 p.m. yesterday, went again. Facebook started asking me for, they came into my Facebook page, they were already hacking it yesterday. Thank God I was not asleep as at yesterday that time. I had to send my ID card again. I had to do video. I had to do some things. That was when Facebook released the page for me. 10 p.m. yesterday. I'm not going to open another page. Page Ilajo Mama Barawa FIFA. Help me to reshare. Just reshare, love and like. Now, let's go back.
And
Miss Lulu Yami, she said Abraham had a business he was doing. Men, meaning a woman will not answer you if you don't have work. This woman saw Abraham as a prospective husband, as a husband with future when Abraham toasted her. She said Abraham has a business. Abraham was MTN representative that was selling phone, repairing phone. He has a business he was doing. Abraham was not a lazy man. And she said, yes, I will marry you. Let us continue. This one a comedy session. Oh, yeah?
And he was one of the representatives, like a marketer to MTN at that time. It was in 2003, sometimes in August. And we courted for just 6 months. We got married in 2004 after the introductions and every other thing he did. My late grand.
Men, is you I'm going to address today on this show. You courted a woman for just 6 months. Even some women make that mistake. How much do you know that person? This is what I say to men. You want to marry a woman. What is she doing? What job? If you meet any woman any lady that does not have job and you marry, you are deceiving yourself. You are digging your own grave. A woman who does not know how to work, a woman who does not have something she's doing and you can watch her, how she's doing the business. Or if she's working in an office, how committed she is that her work is. You are not watching how she's managing resources. You just carry woman because you see her say she carry front, she carry back, she come package. I say na comedy session be this period. She carry front, she carry back. You just see you don't see woman. You can't carry and put for house. Work she no get. How to turn 1 naira to 10 naira, she no sabi do. How do you think such woman will be able to manage the home front for you? She was talking about Daniel. What was she doing at that time? Remember, Daniel said he met her somehow. He didn't go deeply into that, and he married her. She is telling us of what Daniel was doing. Did she mention what she's doing? Let us listen.
Of blessed memory was alive then, and it was a very funny journey. But it was good at that time because, let me say, maybe one of the mistakes I would have made in my youth that I regretted so much. Well, I can't call it a regret now because I have 5 beautiful children
5
out
children.
of that marriage. The marriage was blessed with 4 girls and a boy. My first just clocked 20. My second is 19. The third will be 18 soon. My fourth will be 14 soon. And my son will be 8 soon.
The baby.
So we were blessed with 4 children. I used to be a very lovely person. One of the things that intrigued me about him was his calm nature at that time. And
His calm
being
nature. He's still calm till
youth
now.
that was set on fire for Christ. Because I used to be a very heady child from secondary school. And it was just 2 years.
The best introduction for any woman when you want to they are doing this kind of interview for you. I met Abraham doing this, doing that. And as at that time, this is what I was doing too when we met. I have not had that one. Let us continue. But according to Abraham, Abraham said she was not doing anything. But Abraham saw full package. She carry front, she carry back. Now so Abraham fall in love and marry woman, put for house, and then begin born pikin inside the house. And you remember Abraham said she finds it difficult to even take care of these children, that he is the one that is always taking care of these children, doing school run and all that. You know, there are some men like that. And this is why I said, no be every man bad. There are some good men that will put all their body, all their energy and all their strength into their marriage.
To my rededication into the Pentecostal, because I used to be a Catholic, that I met Abraham. And one of the things that made me to say this one is different from other relationship I had was because of his ideology about no sex before marriage. And I felt like this was truly
He tried, no sex before marriage.
Because he gave me the impression that he was from a Christian background and just a young boy on fire for Christ, trying to find his feet. He told me how he was a missionary with Assemblies of God.
Trying to find his feet. He has a business doing already.
He gave up a lot of things just to pursue his passion for Christ. And we ended up in Dunamis maybe 4 years after the marriage. Yes, and that was how our journey with Dunamis Church started. Though I was a member, because my aunt, they were one of the pioneer members of Dunamis at that time. So I used to, I was not so frequent, but then it was just like an off and on thing. But then when I got married and Abraham, we came to Dunamis through late Pastor Philip Abba. We started from Dunamis Karujikwe, where Abraham, Pastor Onfreke, Pastor Tayo, a whole lot of them were together at that time. So Pastor Philip Abba brought him in like someone he wanted to nurture like his son. Because Abraham he's a gifted person. If he hadn't derailed, he would have gone very far.
Really?
But then
by being a houseboy,
problem with Abraham is lack of focus.
So
you said you met a young man who was already at his young age a marketer representative of MTN. He has his own phone something. He was selling phone, repairing phone. And you are still saying he lacked focus. What were you doing when he met you? What did you bring into that marriage when Abraham met you? Now lesson we wan learn from this story. We are not their family member. What were you doing at that time? You are still saying the man lack focus. A man that has business, and you say you saw something in him that made you see he is different from every other relationships. We don't know how many you have had as at that age then. Other relationships you have been involved. You saw something distinctive. He's a calm man. He's a nice man. And he even said no kerewa before marriage. And I'm sure he was even taking care of you financially. Because when a woman will say he's a caring man, it means the man is putting money down. I'm a woman. Ọmọkùnrin yẹn dẹ̀ mọ obìnrin tọ́jú. Kí n tó bèrè ilé ó ti fún mi. You saw that and made that seem different. You said there was something distinctive. Now you are saying he lacked focus. He lacked this one. He lacked that one. Make we dey go.
Of you decided to join the Dunamis Church together, or it was just you pulling him there?
Well, that time, what led to my coming back to Dunamis was I was pregnant with my third child. Things were kind of hard. Feeding was a problem. Accommodation was a problem. A year before that time, Abraham had abandoned me and the children in Ituko and came to Abuja. So I was threatening to leave with my children, and then he called for us to come.
At what
in
point?
2006, January. So when we came to Abuja and, things were rough and all that, we found ourselves along the Kurudu axis.
Okay.
And that was how my 6th month into the pregnancy of my third child.
But I thought she said they met in Abuja.
I was on my way one of the days, truly, to go and have an abortion. And then, yes, I was on bike going to Nyanya to meet a friend. I turned and something pulled my eyes to the Dunamis signboard. So I told the bike to turn. We had gone very far. I said turn. It came, and then I asked to see the pastors. One of the assistant pastors then asked why I needed to see the pastor, and I explained my predicament, and he said I should hold on. Within 20 minutes, Pastor Philip Abba of blessed memory was in church with Pastor Ike, his assistant, and Pastor Tayo. I remember vividly. And then he introduced me to Pastor Solomon introduced me to Pastor Philip Abba, and he welcomed me. And that welcome was what gave me the comfort of, this is home, remain here. And I explained why I needed to see him. He prayed with me and told Pastor Ike to drive me home, know our house, and follow up on us, that he would like to know more about us. That was how the journey began. And he was a frequent visitor to the house. Late Pastor Philip Abba of blessed memory. He took us like his own. Followed up on my husband, my ex-husband, and then introduced him to the prayer department. And that was how his journey with the commission started. Pastor Philip Abba registered him with Dusom. All these happenings, Abraham never had a certificate. He came into Dunamis with no certificates. And Pastor Philip Abba referred him, broke protocols for Abraham's sake.
Certificate èwo nìyẹn? Bible certificate àbí which one? Abraham that came for that my interview speaks very well. I see his write up now. Is he not educated? Which certificate? She HND. You are talking about Abraham not having certificate. What is your own certificate? Where is your own certificate? So you didn't know he didn't have certificates before you marry him. Ah. You said he would have gone far. Somebody went to go and take a full-time pastor. You want him to go far. He cannot go far more than the pastor. Which certificate, Egbami? The person that is supposed to interview this woman is not the person that interviewed her. Say they should have brought her to somebody like me to interview. Then they can interview Abraham. That is how it is good to do. So that the right question can be asked. At this point, I will have said, Abraham does not have certificate. What of all the English?
When we were with the commission,
Nisuru Yami.
pastors,
What of all the English he has been saying and all the English he has been writing? Egbami. Where's the interview again?
Abraham came to
Yeah, they keep reposting that interview. They keep reposting it.
when we were with the commission as pastors, some people used to make a jest of us, like the kind of favor when the experience with Baba and Mama. It be like saying I go cut soap for us. They used to use it as those that were close to him, because he had his clique, of friends and all that. And it used to be very funny because truly Abraham experienced what we call unmerited grace and favor from Dr. Paul and Becky Eneche, because he is one pastor that he will make a mistake and others will make. It will cost them punishment and Abraham will be left scot-free.
Balele punishment inside church.
He was so
a full grown man.
He was so dear to them that he could access that at any time he needed to. That was the kind of favor we enjoyed. I remember one of the times when Abraham had an accident, just a minor accident with his car. And Daddy upgraded his then very small Mercedes car to an E-class Mercedes when we were still in the bookshop.
Because he's bringing in money. He's bringing
at that
money
time
too.
already. So Abraham came to Dunamis. I wish I had those pictures.
Because he's doing well.
He came to Dunamis.
Pastors do not give you something if you are not doing well.
1,002 shirts.
Ha! Lenu yawo.
Canvas that my younger sister gave him.
Ha!
Abraham.
The same Abraham you met having his own business came with one trouser and a shoe that your sister gave him. I like it. Wọ́n ṣàfẹ́ finish Abraham. Abraham Maríyàwó fẹ́ o. The sister gave Abraham shoe. The same Abraham you met representing MTN, selling MTN products and phone. No fún ní ṣòkòtò kan àtàṣọ kan. Wàhálà dé. Abraham, when you come out, you need to come and tell us why you were having one trouser and one shirt, and your friend, your wife's sister gave you shoe. Is it called shoe or Dunlop slippers, or which type of shoe? The shoe that a woman wear. Abi, how come a woman is giving you shoe? Abi, you have become that pastor in Togo that is wearing women's shoe.
We came into the commission broken. We came into the commission hopeless, helpless.
Hey, yeah.
But Dunamis gave us a voice.
Hey, they gave you life.
Gave us platform.
Hey, yeah.
And I am grateful to Daddy and Mommy.
Hey.
Any day, anytime.
Why did you leave Mommy and Daddy at a point? If you are grateful to them, they gave you life. Why did you leave the church? Because you left at a point, you came back. Why did you leave?
So I am surprised at the outbursts and the behavior, let me call it, from Abraham at this point.
Call him Abraham.
If anybody should do, I don't think it should be Abraham. If anybody should be after the commission in a negative way, not Abraham. because he was a beloved son. My
Hey,
children, myself, we were
a beloved son that was thrown
we
into the
enjoyed the
jail.
privilege he enjoyed.
Hey, yeah. Now cover
So,
shoe. Ah, okay.
wow.
She's crying.
Okay. In your
Oh,
view, what do you
she's
think
crying.
went wrong? What made you leave the commission? Was there a particular incident you remember, or series of them, that could lead to
Hey,
a
yeah.
turning against the church in such a way?
Now, the Bible says pride goes before a fall.
Then,
One of the problem Abraham has is pride.
he's a man. Every man has it.
And one of his many
And it's
problems,
necessary for every man
he
to
doesn't
have
pick
pride.
corrections.
Correction from.
When this whole thing started in 2018, mildly, I sat him down. He is 2 years older than me. I sat him down and I said, Abraham, you need to retrace
And go
your
back.
step. My late grandma used to give me a proverb back then when we were growing, when I was growing. She said, if the cup that gave you water to drink when you were thirsty is dirty, you don't throw it away.
Somebody that throw
Keep
you to
it.
jail. Okay.
Even if you will not wash it, someone else will use it. For the fact that it once gave you water to drink, don't throw it away. Abraham, let me say, was impatient with process.
Yeah. The same man that you said is
When we were pastoring
he's
in
not
New
doing
Caro,
well
we
enough.
served in New Caro for 4 years.
Okay.
Before we were posted to New Caro, I remember very well the day he called me and said, Daddy asked him to go and preach in New Caro on a Wednesday evening service. And that this could be like a tester to us being posted. I should pray for him. But that he was already in New Caro. I said, okay. We had our prayer on phone. And on Thursday afternoon, the good news came that he should go to New Caro and pastor the church with immediate effect.
And that is what you want.
The way we moved from Lube, that period was as though they were pursuing us. And we went to New Caro. Abraham's problem started when the euphoria of the moment caught up with him. Daddy, protocols here and there, and all those kind of things got into him. I don't think I really knew him in the 16 years that we were together. Because there is something that if you want to know a person, give him two things. Give him money, give him power.
Okay.
I think when Abraham tested money and power, it entered into him badly.
Okay.
Sometimes I used to say, I wish we were never posted from the headquarters. He would have remained as a minister and remained humble. But Abraham is someone who could have been tamed if money was not exposed to him. Because he like I said, he is a good person. He is creative. He is a deep thinker, but he would have used it better if he was not listening to naysayers, and he didn't enter into the wrong association, and he didn't allow money to become the ruler of the day. Every organization has his or her policy. But Abraham does not want to be guided by the policy of journalists.
And he said he wants to leave. Remember, Abraham said, they said if he cannot work with the policy of the church, he should leave. He said that was what prompted him to leave, because he wanted a free school for the poor. The daddy Gio Abikile Nkpewo, They said it's not part of the policy of the church, but they don't want to mention it. He said Abraham is not ready to go with the policy of the church. Hey, Simbe now, then you leave. Or they tell him to leave. But because they know once they leave, it will shake the church. The people who are loyal to the pastor will not be happy. They might even follow him. This is where there is always clash.
If reborn, he wants to be a rebel. This was the beginning of the problem.
Of his downfall. Okay.
And Daddy said, okay, since this thing has gotten into your head so much, come back to the headquarters. Maybe you were not well trained. Let's train you properly.
Before you go.
His salary was not affected. Allowances were not affected. As a matter of fact, they said we should even get a house close to Area 1 and move from Newcastle. I had no problem with it. Abraham had too many problems with it. Part of the problem is I cannot come and sit in the same office with pastors that were employed after me.
Okay. They demoted him after that, so, or what?
A soldier man
a point now
who was employed by the government can be recalled by the government at any time to redeploy to the headquarters.
And he has a right to resign.
You don't dictate for them what to do with you.
Then you don't dictate to an adult what to do with his life too.
So he said no, he wouldn't. I remember on 3 occasions, Daddy called for him and said I should be there. And Abraham was complaining, this person is that, and Daddy said something. If garbage did not gather, flies will not perch. You have your own faults too, but that's not a problem. Anything that is the problem, we can work it out. Calm down and be still. You are already a son, loved by me and my wife. We will take care of you. We will make everything okay. He said he doesn't have food in the house. He doesn't have money. Daddy said money is not the problem. I remember that day vividly. Daddy gave him 50,000 and told them to give.
So when you are I want to answer somebody. Say, why did the wife left him? Maybe you didn't follow from the onset. The wife left because she refused to continue to work in Dunamis. How can a full-grown man, you want to dictate how he will do his life? Must he be under Dunamis to make a way? He said he doesn't want to be there again, and by force. Just because of the whatever they are giving them. The man said, no, I want to pursue my own life too. You said no. Throughout the interview, what was she doing at this time? She kept saying this guy is a good man. He's a good man. You met him as a hardworking man before you went into ministry. And he got into ministry. He said their philosophy is not working. Their principle is not what he wants. He wants to leave. They demoted him for that. They demoted him. Just like this man's case. Itwa Igodalo. The case is similar to Itwa Igodalo's case. When Itwa Igodalo, he wanted to marry. And Redeem said no, he has to remain a divorcee. And the guy said no, I want to marry. And they demoted him. They said start checking, sitting in the congregation. After Itwa sat for a while, he said no, this is too embarrassing for me. Me that I was preaching to people, I will now sit dormant in the church. And he left. So look at Abioye. Look at what Abioye is doing now. Like play. Abioye is becoming bigger every day. If the wife of Abioye is not standing by him, Abioye will either be sick by now, because this is the only thing he knows how to do all his life. I give it to Abioye's wife. If not for Abioye's wife now, and this is why they say you need a woman who can work with your vision in life to make something as a man. If you carry a woman that does not align with your principle of progress. Oh, anyway, let's be listening. I beg. And you are saying, why did the wife leave?
I came to Dunamis. I wish I had those pictures. He came to Dunamis with 1,000 and 2 shirts. with one canvas that my younger sister gave him.
A tún padà sẹ́yìn ni.
Weak,
Sorry.
hopeless,
Ṣé kí ni ìtún padà sẹ́yìn? Sorry.
and told them to give him. Daddy even gave him more than that amount of money, right in my presence. That occasion
How
happened
much?
not once, not twice, not 3 times.
How much is the money?
Before he dropped his resignation letter, Abraham was
himself.
not sacked.
Abraham did not scam. Abraham did not steal. Abraham did not buy person. By himself, he resigned. Say, I no wan do again. She said he left the resignation by himself. I say he no wan do again. Kí wá ló fàjà? Wetin cause fight?
Everything that
Abraham was not
How much
sacked
was he
by
giving?
the commission.
he left by himself.
Abraham was not sacked by the commission. I repeat
Father
it again.
Abraham,
Daniel Eneche, was not sacked by Dunamis commission. Abraham resigned on his own accord. He made my second daughter to write his resignation
Like he
letter.
said.
She was 12 at that time.
No. It was your first daughter, 16-year-old, 12-year-old cannot
Abraham
write
was
resignation
not
letter.
sacked.
12-year-old cannot write it. He said his first daughter, 16-year-old by then, which is 4 years ago, write the resignation letter saying no one do again. Kí ló fàjà?
I say it again. Abraham Eneche Daniel was not sacked from Dunamis Church. He resigned on his own accord. And after his resignation, Mommy and Daddy refused to honor the resignation letter for many months.
Why?
Refused to accept.
They refused to accept, the resignation letter for
Why?
many months. He was still enjoying his salary
Why?
and allowances.
Why didn't you allow him to go?
But he became aggressive.
Because they don't want him to
He
go.
wanted his payoff so badly
So that he can start another life.
because somebody sold the idea to him that they were going to give him millions of naira
Okay.
as a payoff.
He
So that
deserved it.
entered into him. Abraham was not sacked.
He did
I
not
have
come one night. He
mentioned
did not
it
scam.
more
too.
than 5 times.
Okay.
He resigned.
Okay.
He was not retired.
Okay.
He resigned.
Like Abioye, we are okay.
Okay. Now, wow, there's so much that people out there don't know, actually. Because this is my first time of hearing that he was not sacked. He resigned by himself.
He
and for
said
many
it. He
months,
said he was not
that
sacked.
resignation
He said
not
it was
honored.
done.
Yes.
And
Your
he
principle
still
does
paid
not go
even
with his
after
own
the
principle.
tender
Sure.
all of that. He now claims to be an atheist.
Uh-huh.
Was he always
That's a choice.
like that? Has he always been like that, or did something trigger this change? Secondly, how did you handle this shift? Because you were still married to him when he became an atheist, right? So,
Well, it started gradually from him reading different books,
So,
listening to different people. Some I was never comfortable with because I was born into a Christian home. I was raised by Christian parents. My late grandmom was a staunch Catholic. She trained me. She started from Methodist church, so I was born into Methodist, and then to the Catholic church, and then I went to Living Faith on my own. From
a
Living
full
Faith to
grown man, Tori
Dunamis.
Olorun, cannot make a decision on his own life.
Abraham started from Assemblies of God.
He said it.
As a matter of fact, in his secondary school back then, because I know some of his classmates, they told me from Wesley High School, he was one of the FCS leaders.
I thought you said he
In
don't get
school.
certificates.
So he had always been this child that had passion for God. But you know, a parent is responsible for the child's
maybe
upbringing and behavior until the child begins to be on his or her own. So I want to believe that what happened to Abraham was influence. Abraham's problem was he didn't want to drop. The kind of friends he associated could have influenced him. The kind of things he was listening to could have gotten into him. And I think
Ellen Aniye Abikilo ló ń jẹ́. If the wife of the man kept repeating Abraham is a good man, you are saying Abraham is a bad man. Ṣé ọkọ ẹni? Is he your husband? The person that married the man, that they are trying to make her change narrative, kept saying Abraham is a good man. You are telling me he's a bad man. If you have problem with him, go and sort it out. It's none of my business.
things that influenced him. And when he started this whole thing, I told him, log off social media. At that time, social media was not this mad, but it was just
I want to sọ fún ọ̀nà pé social
picking up.
media ti máa
I told him, I said, leave social media for your sanity's sake. Let us pray together as a family. I'm a very private person, and that's why for this number of years, I have not come out to say anything to anybody. People have approached me on several times, come say something, but within the last few weeks, the pressure became much. Within the last few days, I saw the need for me to just say something. What happened to him was influence. He was tongue talking. We spoke in tongues together. We prayed together. He was filled with the Holy Ghost. Abraham preaches very well. He knew the
nitty-gritty
Bible to its depth.
láti mú customer.
But what happened to him was influence, like I said. And then when a man cannot curtail his taste for certain things, you know, the Bible says, he who breaks the hedge, the serpent will bite. So I believe there were hedges he broke, and the serpent had no choice than to bite.
Well done.
If he had taken responsibility for his action when he was cautioned,
caution for what?
when we were being redeployed to the headquarters from New Cairo, a lot of things could have been adjusted quickly. But he doesn't know how to take responsibility for his actions. Instead of Abraham to accept that he was wrong, he will prove you that you are wrong. So in a whole gathering of 20 people, Abraham is right and every other person is wrong.
So at any point in time, though he had anger issues,
His younger brother was the one who does all the, fightings and all, but Abraham would rather drop money for you, not to fight. Like I said, I'm very heady. I used to be a fighter from school. So he will rather drop money for you not to fight.
He's a good man. Are
than
you hearing?
for you to fight. But
He doesn't like wahala.
If it comes to Abraham's words are not seasoned.
so he rather fight with his mouth.
Exactly. So he will talk aggressively, and then he will always want to be the one to win. So I always gave him chance to win. But when the matter became much in 2019, I told him no. At this point, you can't deflate my faith. And you cannot tell me what to do and what not to do with my life. I have freedom of worship, I have freedom of speech, I have freedom of movement as an adult. One of the times he told me, because he agreed one time that he was going to keep up social media, he was not going to do the whole write-ups and all that again. He agreed. And we sealed it with a condition. If you go back to this, I and my children will be off your life. And he agreed.
Okay.
So this was one of the reasons. In fact, he approached the court first for divorce.
Okay.
My lawyers are there to testify. He approached the court first for divorce. So when my lawyer went to, it was Lugbe customary court, he went to report, FHA. And when my lawyer went there to follow up on the case, they said he had gone. So upon my reaching home, he said no, that their tradition, they don't divorce their wives.
Okay.
So I was angry. I said, okay, in my tradition, we divorce.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of this back and forth. And I am tired of your inconsistency. Moreover, I have 4 girls who will get married tomorrow.
Excelling
I have
exactly.
children.
What did he do?
Who will be light bearers tomorrow?
What did he do?
I don't want a situation where a negative influence from a bad parent will affect them.
Okay.
So if you know you cannot calm down for us to train these children, let me train them.
Okay.
If you are sure of what you are doing.
Yes, because I didn't want their upbringing to be mixed with this kind of.
Abike Olatunde, you said, ask Abraham in the church. He went to Pastor Karu, don't judge until find out. I said we have not seen, even the wife said it. He said he resigned on his own accord. Not as if the church sent him away. If he did something bad, it is the church that is supposed to send him away, not him resigning. They didn't even want him to go. Ẹ má lọ mí ní fún o, ṣé ń gbọ́? Ẹ má lọ mí ní fún. Ìwọ náà bá mi lọ sí Karu, help me to go to Karu. Whatever you find out, come and tell us, we will put it out. Abraham spoke. He said he resigned on his own because their principle does not go with his own. The wife is speaking too. He said he resigned on his own because it was Eddie. What they want him to do, he doesn't want to do. You heard it. Except you are just coming in. Emma Lomini fun. Don't Lomini fun rara. Please. The wife keeps saying he's a good man. He's a good man. She has not even told us what Abraham did to file divorce. But Abraham said it was because he refused to stay in Dunamis. He said he doesn't want to stay in Dunamis again. He is done. And wife said we no go anywhere. Now he cause wahala. He doesn't want to be a pastor again. They demoted him. And he said he wants to go. They don't want him to go.
I'm not a Christian today. I want to be a Muslim tomorrow. I want to be this atheist tomorrow. I am not. No. That was not what I gave birth to them into. I don't want to introduce them to a life that myself can't live.
Okay. Oh, she was agreeing, but only that church is silly.
Okay. In your observation, you were there with him all through. You are somebody that has saw him closely. I mean, during his do you think, in your opinion, that the church treated him well during his time there? What was your observation of the church's relationship?
Abraham was treated with, let me use the word partiality.
Yeah.
They were partial to him positively.
You know, sometimes we want to use that word. We want to say grace worked for him.
Yes, grace, favor.
Grace, favor. Yeah, he knows
he
how
was
to
loved.
Crowd.
Yes.
He was too loved to the extent that I remember one time Abraham's car spoiled. We were in New Caro, and he called daddy that his car engine got knocked. It was during the fasting and prayer in January. And daddy said, see me tomorrow after the break of fast.
Freebies.
He came back with a new car.
That is what you are contented with. That freebies they were giving to hold you down. Maybe the family would have gone
he
far.
He came back with a new car. We were in New Caro. We were robbed. The very night we were robbed, the following day, daddy said, your family is not sleeping in that house this night. Find another, and we just renewed. In fact, Dunamis pays our rent.
Okay.
They pay your fueling allowance.
When pastor overlooked in our
Abraham was he was too loved.
Hey, yeah.
So they just renewed our rent at that time, 500,000.
They just renew your rent. Imagine as a couple, a church is paying your rent. Is that a life? As a couple, church has to be the one to pay your rent. A full-grown man and woman, able man, both of you have hand and leg. It is church that is paying your rent. And that is what you want your husband to sit down. The kind of life he should be living all his life. Oda, problem with you.
And daddy said, find another house immediately. Within 4 days, we got another house. And they paid.
Again.
Without collecting back the other rent because we were robbed there. This was how loved he was.
Yeah,
I remember one time he was sick,
very loved.
2014. 2014 November. I
This
can't
is the
remember
topic of Daddy
precisely
versus
the date
Abraham.
now.
Thank you.
But then I was home when they called me that he just slumped. They were in their Saturday evening prayers.
Somebody said she has a freedom of free worship, but the husband is not allowed to have freedom of worship. Is that right? God bless you.
The church accountant at that time and his assistant pastor back then called me. It was an emergency call. Oh, he's not breathing and all. And I rushed.
Remember in that his own Abraham Daniel's interview, he said at a point he developed high blood pressure. This is where she's referring to, that he was not breathing well anymore. So he should have stayed until he died to satisfy your daddy. Your husband is there, it's not daddy, it's his pastor that you are calling daddy. Ni mo baba yin. So the guy should have stayed, Abi. That is the reference she's making to now.
Hospital where he was admitted, Nisi Hospital in Masaka. I'm giving all these places for you to
Oh, you are not
details so that you can do your findings.
Please, love and light. Want to flag you are.
I was in daddy.
Opeyemi, go and play, come back. Go and play, come back. Okay? I have said it's going to be a long video. Go, come back and watch later so that you can watch where you want to watch. Me, I'm not stopping it. 30 minutes more and we'll be done with it.
Check.
I have a place I'm
see
going
what
there.
happened to my husband. You then. To come and pick Abraham from that hospital.
Eileen, if you want to come and defend, make sure you know what you are saying. The wife said they were full-time pastor. You said he's not a full-time pastor. Abraham mentioned that he was a full-time pastor. So èwo ni ká wá bá gbàgbọ́. Eileen kúrò ńbí, ó yá, jẹ́ rapture, má lọ mí fún sẹ́. You are hearing something, you are still saying he's not a full-time pastor. Let me leave you. Kò tiẹ̀ need. Ó yá.
In all sincerity, till this very moment that we are talking, I don't know how much was paid, but I know the bills ran in millions of naira. Dr. Andrew was the church's doctor. I think he was the head of the medicals at that time. I don't know if he still is. He was the one that did everything from beginning to the end. Abraham was on oxygen 3 times. That the Eneche prayed for him more than 3 times. He sent us to different hospitals that we don't try and err on his health.
Your pastor is sending you to hospital. Why is he not performing the miracle he knows how to perform on Abraham when he became sick? And you are saying his miracles are not fake. He should have tested that power on Abraham. And you people brought this woman out to come and counter that your miracles are not fake. You have not even spoken about the miracle yet. Almost 40 minutes now. What you are fighting Abraham for is that he said the miracles in the church are staged. Right? Why have you not spoken about it? And when Abraham became sick, why didn't they perform that miracle on Abraham? Why asking him to go from one hospital to the other, from one hospital to the other? Now, all of you followers, when I tell you what you attribute and ascribe to your pastors are actually what you went to get from hospital, you will now say by the altar of fire, by the kinikon, when Papa laid hands on me. No, you have taken medication. Why is Abraham being asked to go from one hospital to the other? Why can't Papa just lay hands on Abraham and Abraham will be okay? Shebi is a miracle worker.
What was wrong? Because he was having breathlessness.
Ordinary breathlessness.
They to check his heart, they checked his lungs, they checked everything to be sure that he was not asthmatic, to be sure that everything was clear. They had to do an MRI in their hospital in Karusai, was where they did the MRI. All this while, he was excused from preaching. His salary was not affected. One of the days, because of meeting up with hospital appointments, they said, okay, they lodged us in a hotel in Geriki so we could meet up with town. So we're in New Caro. Is it children's school fees they were paying when we're pastoring with them?
So he was paying school fees as well.
Yes.
Uncle no.
So Abraham was.
They are the one that make him full-time full-time pastor. If they didn't make him full-time pastor, he will pay his children's school fees by himself. Why did they hold him down? Why did they hold him down? If he's not that useful to them, why are they paying him paying him salary and still paying the children's school fees, even when he said he wants to leave? Why? Why? Why did they continue paying children's school fees of a children of a man that said, I don't want to do again? What was their gain? He's so useful, they don't want him to go. We saw the crowd. We saw his church he was pastoring. If Abraham was the owner of that church, Abraham would be among the richest pastors now. If he was the owner of the church. And we are not talking about how they are using people now. We are not talking about how pastor is making money from people now. We are talking about how they are using people and how they are scattering family. That is what we are discussing now. And how a man can be deprived of all his children all because he got involved in a church. And the same people are putting him behind bars. And the family are still romancing the same man that puts their father inside jail just for talking. We have not seen the crime Abraham has committed. If Nigeria is working, Abraham is not supposed to be locked up. What has been his crime? The woman has been talking since, and she kept saying Abraham is a good man. Please help me to love and like. They are flagging. They are really flagging the show. Abraham is a good man. Abraham is a good man. I met him doing this. I met him doing that. If Abraham was not working, how did Abraham marry him? Why did she marry Abraham? She said she met Abraham doing a certain business. A church that's supposed to make family one has scattered the family. And they are forgetting what the same Bible says. Honor thy father and thy mother so that your days may be long. They are making a child to look down on their biological father just because he has no money. If Abraham has money, if he's a rich man, this thing will not happen. This woman talking will not talk. If Abraham has money, what is going on will not happen to him. It is because he has no money. That is why all these things has befallen him. If you are, oh yeah, Emma Blessed, the rapture, Uri Buru. Emma can block the wrong person, please. Hey, hold on. If I block Emma Blessed.
Too favored. He was very, very favored. Daddy will travel abroad and buy Abraham shoe and shirts.
Oma ku no wo.
When my late grandma passed
Abe ma
on,
gbo si oro.
he should be.
E ma gboro rurun lenu iyawo. When daddy travel abroad, they buy Abraham shoes and clothes. Handouts for your own husband, and you are not ashamed as a woman talking this. So that is the life you want your own husband to be living on handouts. Your own husband is supposed to pick his bag and you and him will travel. If you work together as one, if you agree as one, you want him to live on handouts when daddy travel. When Abraham came, the same Abraham that you said was hardworking, you are talking that when he entered Dunamis, now one trouser, one shirt. Eba mi love and like and share. I want to tell you, one shirt, one trouser, and one shoe. He brought into one shoe that was given by your sister. He brought into Dunamis. And you were still with him as a woman. What did you bring to that marriage? You marry somebody, under how many years? You give am 5 children. You want to buy am. Because already you have given him what will not make him to have shirts on his body. How old was Abraham? To be márùn jọ fún. Already you are the 6th bukata, making 6 of you, living on one man. What was your contribution to that marriage? You have not even mentioned, this is what I do. This is what I bring to the house. This is what I contribute. This is what all you have been saying is what Abraham does. What your father in the Lord does. Your daddy will travel and buy him a shirt and buy him trouser. And you are not ashamed that they are buying your husband clothes as a woman. You have not even said what you bring.
Helpless. But Dunamis gave us a voice. Instead of Abraham to accept that he was wrong, he will prove you that you are wrong. So in a whole gathering.
Sorry, can you? No, sorry.
This should be 12 years now. We were going for the burial. Mommy told him, you can't appear before your in-laws empty-handed. She said, we don't do this, but I will do it for you. Go to the bookshop admin. The admin at that time was Pastor
a full-grown man.
And tell them that I said they should give you the bus, fuel it, to and fro. That will take your family to and fro with you to go for the burial. So we came with Dunamis bookshop bus for the burial.
Fueled by the church.
Not only fueled, Mommy gave us 2 bags of rice.
Mommy Mark who know wo. How much was bag of rice then? 8,000.
Okay, my son, we didn't plan for his birth. So the pregnancy, at that time, Abraham were already having issues. So we didn't even share any close bond. So we had an issue trying to make up, and then I conceived for my son. That pregnancy was one of the hardest period of my life. I've had 4 children before him, but that particular one was one of the hardest. He is preterm, but he is alive. When we went to the hospital for the emergency CS, it was during May conference in 2017.
5
After
children.
my son was delivered,
Delivering every year for the man.
He had an issue. In fact, like 4 health complications that was almost leading to, if his enemy died. My auntie can attest to what I am saying, because she was the one who took him from the hospital where he was born to Geriki General Hospital. The documents are there at Vinet for verification in Geriki. I gave birth to him in Vinet Hospital, Geriki, and he was transferred to Geriki General Hospital for pediatricians to look at him with emergency. The notes are there. Dunamis was the one that cleared. Mommy was in London with Daddy Eneche at that period. And Abraham called them that this is what is going on. They kept praying for my son. He did 10 days in incubator, 5 days on oxygen. 3 days was on CPAP oxygen. I wasn't there because I was under knife pain, but I fought on everything. I had to go and see my son on the 4th day.
Money again,
because I wasn't sure that he was alive. I told them I needed to be sure that he is alive. And Mommy sent 500,000 from London.
Again. So freebies
for us to clear the hospital bill.
Oh.
So some of the things we enjoy
why you don't want
we
him
were
to
with
go.
the commission.
Eh.
I don't think some pastors who were there before him enjoyed it.
And that is why he should remain there forever. Kai.
I know you said he's a good preacher, he's good at that and all of that.
He is a good man. Say it very loud.
Leadership at home.
He is a good preacher, he is a good
After
man.
shortly after we were posted, like I said, he became too proud for too many things.
He's a man.
So
He has to
that
be.
posting made me understand that Abraham was not a true Christian,
Ìyẹn ni wàhálà báyìí.
because he could go on without fasting. At that time, it's like Abraham, he was too loved
Again.
to be somebody who could have errors.
That love covered every.
Covered
He was too loved.
truly.
And that is why
So,
he's being put into jail
Even
now.
if I don't complain, are you sure? So I didn't want anybody to guess me. I kept my calm. But in the home front, I will say
It was useful. It was bringing
I
him
saw a
money too
lot.
now. So commission, the whole time.
I don't want to mention
That's
some now
commission. Mention.
because my children will grow.
Oh.
They are growing.
Eh.
I don't want them to have a distorted growth. And I don't want them to have a second guess about their father. I don't want a situation where it will look like you are poisoning my children's minds against me. I want them to grow into it and see it.
That's a man that
So
you keep saying is a
too
good
many
man.
things happened. But just to point out a few, when he resigned, he started a church.
Okay.
He mentioned it.
He started his own ministry.
He started
Yes.
his own ministry in New Carroll. We started from my living room,
Your living room or his living
and then
room.
it grew into one hall there.
Come on, Koti, continue.
I will tell him, I won't go.
Obama stop.
Because I didn't understand at
This is where Abraham made mistake. The woman doesn't want to stay. You should have just allowed the woman to go and continue. Your survivor first. Your survivor first. There is a way you will manipulate. It's all about manipulating the brains of your member. Your survivor first. Because that is all he knows how to do. He said he started in a living room. Your living room or his living room?
some point where he started preaching. I didn't understand at some point why we couldn't have devotion as a family anymore. I didn't understand at some point.
I told the children are all grown and aware of the entire. Of course, Shebi, the first daughter was with Eneche. That was what brought all these things we are talking about now. I don't know what she said she's covering from them. The children that are already grown up. The children that know that this man, this our pastor threw our daddy into jail. I don't know what else she's saying. I don't want my children to grow up and see what is going on social media. Are they babies? Your first child is 20 years. Second one, 19. Third one, 18. And we don't know how old the third one and the fourth one is. The fifth one, 8 years old. About how old did you call him? So I don't know what she's saying. She's trying to hide from them again.
Some of the things we grew into as couples began to dwindle. So it gave me concern. It gave me a lot of concern. And that church didn't last up to 2 months. It didn't last up to 2 months because a lot of errors. Many errors, and I told him I am not in this with you.
You want him to go back. He has to go back to Dunamis.
When he finishes, I go online, do my service with my children, and
scatter ọpọlọ ẹ kò get ara ẹ mọ́ ó bá kúkú close the church. Pé tí iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run nǹkan tẹ́ pè ní ṣọ́ọ̀rì God's work ò bá ṣe é ṣe kóhun tó bá ṣe mí.
No, he
if
is not.
If he's greedy, he would have continued.
The children can attest to it themselves.
That
sometimes last year, I ran into a bad business with some bad business associates, and that
Why is this guy interviewing this lady, not ask about the accusation that she was? They listened to the interview I did for this guy. That was why they brought this woman out. Why didn't he ask this woman, the first time your husband was thrown into jail, what was your perception? What do you think was going on? And they said she was giving money, 200,000, the first time. And that was when she came back to the church.
gave me a setback.
She's 20. She's big
to
like
the
her mother.
extent
She's
that
20. Some children are like that.
I was cutting with someone, and this person contacted Abraham.
That was the lady Abraham mentioned,
Yes,
that they
with
did
my
business
children,
together.
contacted Abraham, and Abraham came. At that time, I already got a house. We spent 3 months with her, so I already got a
Abraham
house.
Oparo.
Trying to move, Abraham came and took 4 of my children.
Now, this was when Abraham had brought the children. When Abraham said the friend of this lady called him and said, see, oh, this is what has happened to your girl children. She didn't mention it. That her children, her girl children, the 2 of them were molested. See a mother. She didn't mention it. That they are trying to cover the case. When Abraham now said, he cried out. Abraham did not say, I'm having issue with you people. Whatever you want to do it to those children. But Abraham came out and said over his dead body, will somebody do this to his child and go scot-free? It was Abraham that exposed that it was Reno Mokri's brother, step-brother. There is a pastor in Abuja that molested the girl. The mother, Pem, the first child too, the same thing. She didn't mention it here. That is the situation she was trying to mention. If you listen to Abraham's this thing that I mentioned, that I played earlier before we started this one.
And took 4 of my children.
Took 4 of your children.
3 girls and 1 boy. Yes. My first, the 3rd, the 4th, and my son.
And the 5th one. And
they went to his house. I can share the evidences of my conversation with my children while they were there with you. Heartbreaking. I have never subjected my children to that kind of living.
Really? So how did they rape your children?
Not in such an environment.
Really?
Not within such a neighborhood.
Really?
Not with such a lifestyle.
Oh yeah? Then how did they sleep with your children?
Too many things were wrong.
Really?
Plenty things were wrong.
Oh,
I was sending them feeding money.
You have not even told us what you do.
They will tell me, Mommy, today we have not eaten. And Daddy have gone out.
But
and
Daddy went to look for money.
And he will end up sending them 2,000.
Because Daddy lives on daily money. He's a boat driver. It is the money he will make today, he will feed you people from. And save some for rent. It is not as if he's not giving anything at all. You say he's giving 2,000. Is that not money? Go and manage it to eat till I come back. So Daddy was trying in his own little way. If you had to eat, there is no big deal. You are their mother. Yes, 5 children for 1 man that is managing life, that does not even have a job, and is trying to do boat driver. And he will say, let me go out. I will send you money. And he's sending. It's not as if he's not sending at all. Some of you that are fighting for these people, many of you do not even take care of your children. The man, they try in his own little way. What else do you want him to do? But under your own watch, 2 of your girls, they molested them, and you kept quiet as a mother. Why not mention that in the interview?
4 of them.
plus his wife.
plus his wife
By the time
and the new baby.
He is married now.
He's married. He has to marry. He's a
I've
man.
already married another wife.
He has
Yes.
to.
So the children will be crying, and my
You are
son,
married too, according to what
even
we
if the
hear.
others can endure,
Yeah.
not
The
such a young
interview,
boy.
that interview man should have asked, are you married too? You are married too, according to what we heard. So you should not marry. Daniel try 4 children, including the wife, making 5, abi 6. Ẹ fẹ́ pa ni. Even your 20-year-old child is enough to go and look for work too, side by side, and hustle, and be going to school along the side too. Let her be selling something. Or go and learn trade, hairdressing, that she can be making for people in school to earn money. How to sew clothes, makeup, gele, paint nails. Which day was I hearing that my daughter said when she was in Unilag? For the first time I did hear her. She said she used to sell clothes in Unilag. That time I was still here, they are still back home. I said, she sell clothes. She said, yeah. I said, where do you buy the clothes from? She said, from the allowance she gets. She go to Teju Osho and she will buy Okirika to sell in the school. I said, ah. How old was she then? 17 or 18. Kí ló ṣe ọmọ ẹ̀ tí ò lè wá nǹkan kó máa ṣe kó máa múra? Ẹ fẹ́ pa Abraham ni.
And a mother cannot hear of such and be at rest. Because I don't, if my children, if you see them, they are healthy.
The question you should tell us is, why did Abraham carry your children to his house after some time? What was the reason? Ẹ bá mi love and like lórí Facebook, wọn ní fẹ́ káyé gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí. They won't want people to know what is going on. You think it's everybody you can paint things for and just throw it out there. And I'm very glad Abraham came to grant interview, not grant interview, just passing by. And I'm very glad I spoke to him on that day. Why did Abraham take those children into his custody? What happened? Who called Abraham and told Abraham what was happening to his girl children under your watch? Kékeré ló ń jẹ. What about other things that has been going on with those children under your watch that you kept quiet? And if Abraham decided to discipline his children while under him, he has every right as their father. Something must have made him to discipline those children. They must have done something for him to beat them. Òun ló bí nǹkan ẹ̀. But you are not telling us, how come your 13-year-old, 13 years, 13, was RAPE by a pastor in that same Abuja under your watch? Why? How did it happen? Where were you when it happened? How come you did not cry for help? How come it took their father to bring that case to social media, despite the fact that those children don't talk to him? You can't tell us that you love those children more than their father. If the father does not love them, he would have kept quiet and said that is your problem.
I don't joke with 4 things: their well-being, their health, their education.
Really?
And their feeding.
Wonderful.
I don't joke with them.
Hey, yeah.
So the little I can, I do for them.
Okay.
So
that's a good one.
The children told me what they were going through.
Like?
I'm like, that's your father. So what if I am not in the picture? Is this what you people will be going through?
It is
the
what
children I was home.
He will give them.
Okay, I was at work. When the younger brother called me one day, this was after 2 months, I hadn't seen them, and the younger brother called me. Yes, Abraham's younger brother. Sorry, auntie, have you seen the children? I said, no, the last time I saw them, your brother and yourself took them. What happened? He said that the brother's wife called him, that they have not seen the children. I said, my children. Nothing should happen to them.
They will prefer to be under your watch. Some people like us know how liberal and weak most, and I would say 90 something percent of single mothers are. And I can say it categorically that as a single mother, it's tough to handle teenage children. What their father will not allow, you will allow it. That is why they ran away from their father. I want to believe. Because their father is caging them. The father will say you cannot go out. The father will say you cannot do this. But you as a mother, they will look your face. I was looking at a video of recent 2 days ago. Babies, these are not even adults. 2-3 years old toddlers. Their mother was talking and said, stop, don't do this, don't do this. They were trying to show in that video how strong the voice of a father is. And how children disrespect their mother a lot. In that video, those toddlers, their mother was talking, they refused to respond. There was a particular one, a 2.5-year-old baby, a boy. The mother was saying, Calvin, straight to bed. Can you come straight to bed? And the baby was like, no, white anyone, no. Then suddenly the father appeared and said, the father did not even talk. The father just said this. If you see the way that baby ran inside on the bed, I was like, really? So you children, you know the voice of your father. So the children running away from their father does not mean the father was maltreating them. They couldn't have their way, their liberal way, their way of walking anyhow. They couldn't have it with their father. They have it with you until I'm proving otherwise. Tell us why the children prefer to be with you, and yet under your watch, everything happened to them. Those are the things their father will be using to talk to them and say, look at you. You people prefer to stay with your mother. That is why they were able to do all this to you. And now, the problem, I can't even sleep. I can't even shake any con. And those children they don't want to hear correction. They don't want to hear that their father is saying, what you are doing is not right. They prefer that liberal way. Liberalism whereby they can do anything, work at any time, go out at any time and come. I am speaking from experience. That is what children are. They prefer a parent that will be very liberal with them. They don't like a parent that is strict. Oh, from what you have said, you yourself kept saying Abraham is a good father. Abraham is a good person. Abraham is a good person. You now say your children ran away. They ran away because their father. Hold on, you hear me? Their father is saying no to some of their waka waka. Some of their waka waka will be say it don't make them matured over time. Abraham is putting his feet down. If you as a mother, a father is providing something for the children, that is what he could afford. Your children will now call you. Don't you think you have even done what will not make those children to progress in life? You have done what will make those children to think that life so is not supposed to be like this, supposed to be like this, and they will do anything for money. A father is saying, this is what I can afford. You are now sending extra money. Good parents don't do that. A good parent will say, if that is what your father can afford, manage it. How will you feel? Your children are with their father. With you. And they are calling their father to complain about you. That the money you are giving to them is not enough. You are now giving the children another money. Those children will now be like, yes, that means our mother is not doing enough. And those kind of children, if they now see somebody entice them with money, no wonder your first daughter can say, this is a spiritual father and mother that he has adopted, knowing fully well these people are punishing our own biological father. Madam, you have not done well. You have created something your children that they will face in future. In Yoruba, you take one mouth to train a child, especially when it comes to spending and feeding. If that is what your father can afford, so be it. But you said you were sending them extra money. You are teaching them not to be contented. You are teaching them to go extra mile if they are not satisfied with what is available, to go and start seeking for other things irrespective. That is what you have taught them. Now, let me give you an example. If you are watching this video, madam, there was this boy that somebody, the mother couldn't handle as a single mother. She now asked the boy to go and be staying with their first child of the family, which is the senior sister. In that house, the senior sister said, let's do this, mommy, so that this boy's life can be focused. Mommy said, no, don't worry, it will change. The boy already has some issues with where he was coming from. And the senior sister felt this is the only thing that could help this boy to be focused in life. And the mother said, no, then don't leave him. Let's do this one instead. And of course, the senior sister said, okay, no problem, because it was being discussed in the family already. So when the senior sister will buy something for the boy will not wear it. And instead, he will call the mother, mommy, I don't like what auntie bought. Can you buy? Please help me to love and share. They are flagging my show. They have really flagged this show. Seriously. We were at 6 something already. Want to jar? Help me to reshare. These are the truths. They don't want to come out. The boy will call the mom, and the mom will buy another type. The guy will send a spec of what he wants. The mother will buy it and bring it. If I tell you today, that boy has become somebody who cannot work with his hand. He is 40 plus. No wife. He can't even fend for himself. He still believes people have to take care of him. He still have that self-entitlement. A 20-year-old, the father does not owe him. If not that we live in a society that things are not working. A 20-year-old supposed to fend for himself, even contribute to the upkeep of the house. In a little way. If you are still living in that house, you have to contribute a little bit. It's just the society our country is and the way the country is. 19-year-old supposed to be part of the people that will contribute to in his own little way. Work and go to school if the families are struggling. You now said your husband is sending, and this man said he sends about, I think 3,000 or 5,000 every day to them to feed. The man will wake up very early. Very, very early. Go out, carry a boat. Either he's going to survive or he's not going to survive. We have had stories of boat drivers being kidnapped and being pied. This man was damning all consequences to be a man. He was damning all pains to be a man. He will carry car while everybody is sleeping, while your children are sleeping. This man will carry his car and head on the road and go to the road to go and make money, not for himself. We see the clothes he's wearing. He's not working to buy new clothes. He's not working to even do his car that is not good. He is working to feed the family at home, to feed the children, despite everything going on. You now say the money is not enough. When your children were with you, what were they eating when they were with you? They are eating in 5-star hotel. What job were you doing? You have not even told us in all this interview how much you earn and the kind of job you do. All you have been saying is Abraham is this, Abraham is that, Abraham, they give us this, they give us that. You have not even said your own input into that marriage. Irú obìnrin wo lẹ ló ń fẹ́ as ọkùnrin? I have told stories here and I will keep saying it. Even when I was asked to be a full-time housewife, my late hubby had everything to take care of us. He had a driver for me. I have my own car. He gives me monthly salary that he calls monthly monthly whatever, I can't remember now, that he gives me every month. Because of that, I did not say I want to sit down doing nothing. I told him I will contribute to this family. And right there inside the house, I was baking. Inside the baking, when he was building that our house, I was the one that gave him money when it was time. I said, use this one for the window of the house. He was shocked. He said, where did you get it? I said I was saving the money. Eba me feel like you see, I will reply to his comments. Me will comment. You are telling story all this. You have been telling this your monthly allowance. Thank you, Adetutu. From that monthly allowance I was saving. From my little cake of 2020 naira, bí èlò náà ta cake ń gbà yẹn, I was saving. It now got to us building. He wanted to do window. We are doing window. He was not saying the money is not even enough yet. I said, how much do you need more? He mentioned it. I gave it to him. The man was like, where did you get it? I said, I've been saving now. You have not told us any contribution you made to Daniel's life. All you have been saying, Papa did this. Papa bought one shirt. Papa bought one trouser. Papa gave him this amount. Papa paid for this. What did you pay for in that marriage? Ẹ fẹ́ pa Abraham ni. Under how many years you born pikin? Every year you were born in pikin. Permit me to say that, use that English. Okay, mo ti rí. Thank you. Ẹ ṣé, mo ti block ẹ. And you are confirming everything Abraham said. You are just confirming everything Abraham said in his story. Papa did this. Papa did that. Abraham was good. I met him doing this. Abraham doesn't want to stay under to be slave. Under Abraham doesn't want to stay to be a house boy. How can a full grown man decide all his life he wants to be under somebody? Even when you are working in a company, it gets to a stage you want to do something new again. He is a man, for crying out loud. He has his ego, he has his pride. All you need to do for him as a woman is to support him and make him be at peace to be able to do whatever he wants to achieve. You did not even mention, because I know they called you out to come and say this thing because of the interview he granted. He said at a point he opened a boutique for you. What happened to that boutique, madam? You left the boutique too. You couldn't manage it. Everything you have said, Abraham is this, Abraham is this, pastor this, daddy brought this, daddy paid for this. What was your own contribution in that marriage? That you are complaining when a man has gbogbo ẹ̀ ti lọ tán fún. Despite that, he was still struggling. Say, I will still be a father. I will still be a father in my own little way. And I thank God that you did not say he was not taking care of his children. You say he was not taking care of them enough. In the present Nigeria, for the past 3 years or 4 years, no father or mother can do enough for children anymore. Ọmọṣẹ́ ti jẹun ni. It is not ọmọṣẹ́ ti yó. Children, have you eaten? Nobody will ask any child whether you don't belly food. If you eat small, carry water to finish it. You know why? We don't need much food. We only need this very little food for survival. Every other one is excess, and that is why we pass it away into the bedroom. We only need much food. It is only in our own society we think a plate has to be very big for somebody to be belly full. You say the man was giving money every day. He will say, let me go out. What if he doesn't go out? We have some men that will not go out. They will tie wrapper, carry ogogoro, and be drinking. You did not say Abraham was not working. You said the man will wake up. He will say, let me go and work, and I will send the money. So that says a lot. He goes out, he will go and work and send money to them. Shefe pani. Just because he refused to stay under handouts. He said he doesn't want to stay there. It doesn't really matter. Even if they are giving him more. I have seen people resign from a better job to get a smaller one. All because they a better paying job to go and get a lower one. All because their emotional health matters. Their mental state matters. All they just want is their peace of mind. So that they can have a clear head to plan. And sometimes it's always going to be temporal. It's not going to be permanent. And they will go and start. And if you support them, you give them that strong backing, before you know it, they will do more than you think they can do. Why are you there as a wife? So because he refused to stay under your papa, leba da divorce ibole. not thinking of a family, or you never even love the man. Because if you truly love him, you will not say because he refused to stay under a pastor that is your daddy, that you don't know from Adam. But we can see where your loyalty stands. Your loyalty as a woman stands where there is money, not with your husband, not even with your children. If you love your children, you will not consider an outsider over a family you are building. 16 good years and you threw it away like that. 16 good years. You threw it away like that just because your husband refused to be under a pastor. Irú obìnrin wo ni ẹ́? Men, make una shine eyes o. You know why? That's your children. Those your children are your future. Either you are in agreement with their mother or not. Because if you go marry woman, wey be say she likes handouts, it will affect your children. Honestly. Now this self-entitlement your children will grow up with too. Your children will be expecting people, this kind of children now, by the time they will go and marry, they will expect something is their entitlement. Abraham tried. Let's go back. Oh my God. Rí story yín yẹn wá sọ níta o. Rí sọ ní rárá.
Came to Dunamis. Abraham came to Dunamis.
He came to Dunamis empty-handed.
He said then that they just want to be sure that they are not with me. I said, okay. I got home and my children were there, sleeping in my place.
Because
sleeping. So I waited for them to wake the following day and I asked them questions. How did you people get back? What brought you people back home? The story was...
This was the scene VDM was mentioning, referring to. This was the scene the VDM, very dark man, was referring to. That the children, he was maltreating them, he was doing this. Oh, but full story. Did you try to call him and ask him? But because it was here, it needs you. Or to send that one you did not bother. But why? You think a man will just maltreat his children for no reason? Of course, there are some people that will do it. Did you try to find out? But remember, it was this guy that shouted and screamed out that my children are being abused. Their mother did not do anything.
Wrenching. My son came home with all manner of diseases that we just recently treated and still treating.
So is it the father that caused it?
They didn't go to school.
Really?
My first daughter told me that he was going to look for a school where they will give them scholarship.
Okay. He said it in that video. He said he doesn't have money.
I told them, I said, please, find your way.
Is it that the man wanted the children to go abroad? The one that is supposed to go to university. And the father said, let's see if you can get scholarship for him. For her. Every parent do that. Let's see if you can get scholarship because I don't have money. I am managing. Please, understand with me. Is it that one? Or they didn't go to school? Or he's looking for another school? Which one? Go.
Cool. It's not that bad. I don't have anything against scholarship. But why should he not work for his children to go to good schools? So I told the younger brother, my children must go to school and they should not go to any school.
Madam, if he can't work, it doesn't have the money, what stops you as a woman too? After all, you don't carry baby again and you are not pregnant. The entitlement and the responsibility that you are putting on Abraham is the same thing that is supposed to be on you too as a mother. What stops you from working if you cannot? You think if you cannot afford it, you should be able to afford it. I spoke to somebody this morning before I came on board. The woman has a father. The children have a father. Our children have father. She said the man has not been there for them for the past 15 years. The first daughter, the first son of that woman is in Canada. It is that woman that sponsored the daughter. What stops you from doing that? Karo ṣọmọdì, karo dì mọ́ aṣọ, kídìí má ti gbófo, ilẹ̀kẹ̀ má já sílé má já síde, ibì kan ni kó ṣáà ti já sí. If you can't do it, you do it now. He said he doesn't have him, but check up any. You are even more at advantage than him. Women can do business. A business a man cannot do, you can do it. Women are doing exploits now. If your husband cannot do it, what stops you from doing it? Why do you think he has to be the only one to do it? Kí ló ṣe tí wò lè ṣe? Ṣé is that what they used to entice you? Tó fi entice ọmọ ẹ̀ náà that they will send her to university. That was why she's rubbishing her husband and their father on social media. Well done.
Than the standard of what they were going when they were in my place. He said, okay. Like I said,
Ó ti fẹ́ tán. Mo fi ibi mérekù yẹn láti fẹ́ dé yìí.
Because of my children, they are growing. I don't want a situation where the media, social media will remind them of certain things tomorrow.
It's there already.
In their future.
The future you put out is there already.
Mindful with too many things. You know. They are already grown. Like I said, my first daughter is 20. My second is 19. The third will be 18 soon. So they know to a large extent some of these things. So when they grow,
I have started blocking on TikTok too.
They are left.
You yarn yourself, I block you.
So far, I think I am the one in their lives.
But so he made some disparaging comments about Dr. Paul Eneche and the Dunamis Church. I'm sure you would have heard or seen some of those interviews online where he said that the miracles, especially that are being performed in Dunamis, are being staged or faked. Like people are being paid kind of to come and stage these things.
Like
do you agree with this?
I don't agree with it.
Okay.
Because everyone should know that Dr. Paul and Becky Eneche are very thorough people.
Okay.
They are people who are very passionate about scrutiny. So before any testimony, because Abraham worked in the bookshop for many years before he became a minister and a pastor. He knows that before the Seeds of Destiny publication goes out, there is scrutiny of most of the testimony, if not all the testimonies, before they are printed. And if there is any iota of lie, Daddy immediately we tell them, pull it down. We are not begging for testimonies. So we don't make testimonies. That's why when
of the church,
people give testimony and make comments like, and I want to thank Daddy Eneche, he will immediately say, not to me. In fact, there will be a moment of worship and then prayers of mercy. That is how fearful that the Eneche can be with touching the glory of God.
Yeah.
I can tell you for free that no miracle in Dunamis is arranged. I have been a benefactor of many testimonies. Like I said, I used to be a heady child growing up. Prayers. I learned how to pray fervently in Dunamis. I learned how to study the word effectively from Dunamis. I did my foundation, maturity class, and Bible school in Dunamis. And this helped in grinding my spiritual life. So you cannot say miracles are being worked. Let me put it that way, in that place. No. All the miracles.
No, we are not supporting anybody after this
one.
one. Any pastor victim, I've said it earlier.
I'm still a bona fide member of the
set.
commission.
After this one,
my children are still members of the commission. My son is a bundle of that testimony.
Okay.
one of the testimonies.
Okay.
Many. Even when we left the commission, within this number of years that Abraham's issue happened and we left the commission, we were benefactors of these testimonies.
Okay.
This I am telling you are subject to confirmation, because these hospitals you go, just mention what I am telling you and they'll bring out the cases.
You say you went to hospital and you are still attributing the testimony to your pastor. If it is a testimony, hospital is not supposed to be involved. You say they should go to the hospital, that the records are there. Egbami Rami, you went to the hospital. You are still saying it's daddy of your commission. Okay, your pastor is doing miracle. What happened when I would have asked you if I was the person interviewing you? How come Abuja busted your pastor? Abuja hospital. The kidney testimony of a little girl that they did in your church. Abuja said there was nothing like that case in their hospital. There is another child that was having this, what do they call that leg? That your pastor said he did a miracle. The leg is still bent. Irú miracle wo lẹ ń ṣe? Why not address that? You are mentioning hospital. You are still attributing that same hospital, miracle, healing to your pastor. You say we should go to the hospital and confirm. So how can we now say it is your pastor that did it? Okay. How come since Eneche, Abel Damina came out and some of us came out asking questions about crutches, how come your pastor is not doing miracle of crutches anymore? Are the cripple, cripple has finished? There is no more cripple. There is no more handicap.
Fail.
No more handicap. Why did your pastor stop the miracle of crutches when it was questioned about crutches? You said your pastor was helping you to pay hospital bill. It was this hospital is that. You went to this hospital and you are saying it is your pastor. Báwo lẹ ṣe máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí torí Ọlọ́run?
And had a broken head.
Okay.
That was leading to him fitting and loss of life.
Okay.
We were redirected to National Hospital. This was in 2023.
So National Hospital. Okay.
February.
Okay.
2 years ago.
Okay.
I made demand on the unction of that commission because I reminded God that I remember I didn't ask you for this child. And based on this testimony we had when he was born, on oxygen, he was blue, had heart issue.
Okay.
The records are there in Derki and the hospital where I gave birth to him.
Okay.
And God brought him back to life.
In the hospital.
I stand on the premise of that testimony. And I say, this one, the devil will not snatch him off.
Did you go to the hospital or you
We didn't do more than few hours. And my son was fine. Few months down the line, my fourth daughter woke up on a wheelchair. She was fine before this time. Spent 3 days on wheelchair. And I made demand. I even met one of the choir members in church, in the hospital, FMC. I'm making references to this place so that you can do your findings.
In the hospital.
And within 4 days, my daughter was okay. Since that time till now, she's perfectly fine, walking on her feet.
After going to the hospital?
I used to be.
So how is that a miracle from your pastor?
These are my testimonies, minus that of some of my children. I used to be on BP drugs. But I'm no more on BP drugs.
Are you sure?
I made demand on the oil of the commission.
Oily.
Till tomorrow, sure? I and my children still benefit from commanding the day prayer at night. Some days ago, he was praying, Daddy was praying, and he mentioned a case concerning me. This was 3 days into the fast.
If your pastor was doing miracle, why were you placed on BP drug in the first place. All you need to do when you know your BP went up is for your pastor to lay hands on your chest. Abọ́yún ẹ̀yẹn tó ló dẹ̀ máa gbọ́wọ́ lé and say the way he commands and he's been doing miracle and he will say oh ye high blood pressure oh yeah be normalized but you went to the hospital and they place you on medication and maybe you started using herbs because this medication thing blood pressure medication you can either stop it and you will say you have stopped it as your blood pressure normalized ṣé ká wá ṣe reading fún ẹ but you were placed on medication from onset. Where were you placed on medication? If your pastor is a miracle worker, you are not supposed to be placed on medication at all since he is your daddy in the Lord and he's been doing miracle. All you need to do is to go and meet him. Daddy, my father in the Lord, my high blood pressure has gone up. My blood pressure, has gone up. And daddy will say, high blood pressure, the way we see him do on social media, I speak to you. In that oya otito blood pressure I speak to you.
At night, I mentioned the case concerning me, and that gave me the answer that I needed.
Okay, for
the year.
For the year, okay.
So I can boldly tell you that Abraham is just a vindictive person.
A vindictive.
That is just seeking attention unnecessarily.
Really?
And is not ready to make amends.
What amends? He should
this
come
is
back.
5 years. He should move on. Let's all move on.
He has moved on, but he needs to speak. Only man was speaking. Mo tó bá jáde o, torí ẹ ti kéjì ẹ.
Church did not abandon at that point in time.
No.
And even in your time of believers and everything. Now, I would just want to ask that your first daughter recently celebrated.
The crutches have been sent to Ebute Metta.
She went ahead to seek or chose to seek the blessings of Daddy Paul Eneche and his wife on her birthday. What do you think informs that decision? What does this gesture say concerning your relationship family?
Before, like I said, before this time, Abraham's actions and inactions have cost us too much.
Like?
At some point, I left the church, Dunamis, and started fellowshipping in another church.
Abraham said it.
Which?
Then why did you go back?
I don't want to talk about here. Because the experience was bitter.
Ojoro.
And that bitter experience led to too many things that I don't want to say on air.
Ojoro.
And these are decisions that I made because of people are talking. You are Abraham's wife, you are related to Abraham, and still coming to church, antagonism from here, there, and there, and then
inside
the
same
flesh,
church.
you know, one could always be on.
So inside the same church, they are antagonizing you, they are talking you down, you now left. Then what took you back to that church?
Table, in a place where you have been so favored, you have been loved, and all of a sudden, this is happening. It is human for me to think of, let me just step aside and go to another place.
And you went back.
And after that ugly experience, 2023, towards the end, we returned back to Dunamis.
2023.
I was not in touch with mommy and daddy until April last year, when my daughter sent mommy a message that I was in trouble. And mommy gave us 1 million.
Shegbo, they were giving 1 million. Only Jekuje Obiri. She sold her family birthright for 1 million. Oh yeah, Max Orolo.
As at this time, the family and the church,
they didn't like that.
Like together, if we're talking about your first.
I didn't even have the courage to send them a message. You can verify from them.
head. So that door.
She said, "Tell your mother to see me." I didn't even have the courage to look into her eyes when I saw her. After that period, I felt like, okay, maybe, this kind of, I was really under guilt. After this number of years, these people still have our thoughts at heart.
They have your thoughts.
And then,
or they are playing vindictive.
We were coming to.
As at then, Abraham don't they come for them. They can't take 1 million. Take 1 million. And sell the man to us finally, help us to finish her. You they now draw you close because of 1 million. Only je.
Regularly joining the activities and all. So on the 10th, my daughter sent daddy a message that she's clocking 20 and she would like to have a parental blessing from him and mommy. And he said, "Why not? Come, let me pray for you." And she went. And that again, I will say, is the beginning of another process of acceptance. Like, you are not the one that offended me. I have not. Daddy said,
I want to take it back a little bit. It's almost done.
Please be uncomfortable. A place where you have been so favored, you have been loved, and all of a sudden, this is happening. It is human for me to think of, let me just step aside and go to another place. And after that ugly experience, 2023, towards the end, we returned back to Dunamis. I was not in touch with mommy and daddy until April last year, when my daughter sent mommy a message that I was in trouble. And mommy gave us 1 million.
As at this time, the family and the church are no longer
1 million to scatter the family finally.
I didn't even have the courage to send them a message. You can verify from them.
Still went ahead. So that door.
She said, "Tell your mother to see me." I didn't even have the courage to look into her eyes when I saw her. After that period, I felt like, okay, maybe, this kind of, I was really under guilt. After this number of years, these people still have our thoughts at heart. And then we were coming to church regularly, joining the activities and all. So on the 10th, my daughter sent her a message, sent daddy a message that she's clocking 20 and she would like to have a parental blessing from him and mommy.
Blessing.
And he said, "Why not?
And they have to put it out there.
Come,
so that
let me
can
pray
go
for
and
you."
commit
And she went. And that again, I will say, is the beginning of another process of acceptance. Like, you are not the one that offended me. I have nothing. Daddy said, "You didn't offend me. I have nothing against you. Did I tell you to leave the church?" I said no. Did I mention to you people never to step your feet into the church? So why should you?
And it is only his church that is available.
In all of this, I can tell you that if you have not met the person of Dr. Paul and Becky Eneche, you will not know who they are.
Benny.
So people insinuating these things and clapping for Abraham should try and make their findings before jumping into conclusion.
You have spoken. We are not jumping.
My second daughter
we listen.
and my first daughters have ministries that God have placed in their hands. And I can tell you that they are doing very well in their various fields.
Because they are not the problem.
as a single mother, how are you coping with the new reality? What
Are you doing miracle? I'm very.
And how are you finding strength?
I am finding strength on the pillar of God.
Okay, she has not
It's not
remarried.
easy being a single mom of 5.
She has not
Not
remarried.
very easy, but I can tell you, it could be challenging, you know. But then, all the time when I'm faced with issues, I just ask God for strength.
Kai.
If I am faced with
Abraham.
things I cannot go through on my own, I ask the Holy Spirit for help.
Kai.
In all this, my faith did not derail.
It's almost finished.
I am still a bona fide child of God. My children are serving God. When I am at a crossroad,
I like this.
the only pillar I have is God. And I ask him for strength. I tell him, you are the husband
The
to
same
the
people that love
husbandless,
your husband and
the
your father
father
of
to
your
the
children.
fatherless. I am fatherless. My children are fatherless. Help me. And I draw strength from the word of God, from
Like
worship.
Abraham. If I were
And
Abraham, I would
prayers.
disown everybody.
I don't
His life.
I don't want anything to deflate my faith. That's why when people, before I wake up in the morning, people will send me the link to that podcast Abraham did. And I don't want to open it. I don't want anything to deflate my faith.
Wow. Okay, so lastly, before we wrap this up, he claimed in an interview that you were used against him.
Did you do miracle?
Do you believe there were external influences?
Nobody influenced me. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. Nobody influenced me. And like I said, when I started the introduction, I have my freedom of speech. I have my freedom of worship. I have my freedom of movement.
You don't want Abraham to have his
I have a right to say, I choose to worship in this place. I choose to remain a Christian. And so shall it be for me. That is it for my children. Now, I saw in several write-ups where he has said, Dunamis gave me 200,000 to have a divorce. I want to ask him a question. Is that what our marriage was worth to him?
Did they give you or they did not give you?
To him. Because I have 5 children from this marriage. So would you tell me that 200,000 is what my marriage was?
Did they give you or not?
Even my family, I went against them for your sake, Abraham. And you are saying that 200,000 was given to me
by
Dunamis to divorce you. Dunamis has given him millions of naira. What is 200,000? So you mean, even when I told Daddy that I was divorcing, he said, I am not hearing this now. And I will not give you a yes or no answer now. Go and pray about it. Come back to me. Not tomorrow, not next tomorrow. Not next week, not next month. This was in 2019. He said, at any time you have prayed about it and you are convinced that you want to be divorced, you can come back. That was the last time I saw that the Eneche to discuss my marriage issue with him. And that I could say would be the first also. Because I never went to him to complain whether Abraham was giving me headache or stomach ache or making me uncomfortable. He called me out of concern, not that I went to him. I heard you are in court. Why? And I gave him reasons. And he said, don't give me your response now. I'm telling you this for free. Nobody influenced me. My family didn't even know that I was in court, apart from my younger sister and my auntie. Because I was already tired. I got married at 21. I divorced at 35. And I am happy. This is 5 years down the line. I'm excited that I have to do this with my children all by myself.
Wonderful.
Nobody. Except his character.
He didn't collect 200, but he collected 1 million.
When was the last time?
I saw him last November 2024
Just 3 months
last
ago.
year,
2 months
and
ago.
that was in court. Briefly, I was even talking to him, and he was snubbing me. Till date, my children are struggling with what to wear because he seized their clothes. Because when they
He
left
sees
his
their
house,
clothes. Maybe the clothes they are wearing
they
is
came
not
with
good.
nothing. My son was wearing 3 boxers, 2 shirts. My
They are
first
trying.
daughter was wearing a bomb short and a shirt. So everything they're having now is like, I have to just be picking for them, starting afresh. I told him, I said, please,
Your daddy will give you money
can they have their wares?
or give you the border clothes.
He said, the way they left, they will come back.
Let them come and pack it. That is
And he
it.
told me, if I don't see them, I'll burn them. He can do it.
Oh yes.
So
That is
me,
it.
I don't want to be involved in any banter with him. If it's the club that is your problem, carry it.
So if you I say today, what do you do?
I will advise him to retrace his steps. Think about his past. Think about the fact that you are, there is an adage in Domaland that it is the child of a rich man that should misbehave. The child of a poor man should not misbehave. Think about where you are coming from.
He's a poor man.
And have a rethink. Think about the fact that you have 4 lovely daughters. Rethink. Think about the fact that you have a son plus the one you just gave birth to. And rethink, you are a father. You are not that EOP person that, of course, you have your life, but then live for your children.
His life, uncle. He should
Be
fight for
responsible.
children. You said the one he's doing is not enough now.
Well,
lastly, live for Christ. I know he might not like that statement.
Christ, we should live for him.
But live for Christ.
Struggling enough.
Because in him we move, we live, and have our being. Outside Christ, we are nothing. I don't know about him.
In him you live, you move, and you breathe. And when you needed money, it was human being that sent you the 1 million. Oh, get that.
Personally, outside Christ, I am nothing. So live for Christ. And that's the ideology that my children also have. Outside God, they are nothing.
If he today realizes his mistake,
did you do miracle or you did not do miracle?
No, I've moved on. I've moved on, sir. He has moved on and I've moved on.
May he never marry you again. If you are
married. He's married now, and in all sincerity, I gave him time for us to have had a rethink. So I'm young. I will get married again. He is already married. So watch out for my wedding invitation.
Congratulations.
I think I don't think it's like giving it all. Thank you so much for
Thank you, sir.
Encounter this afternoon.
It has finished. The question that we are asking that has caused all this wahala to this extent was because somebody said somebody is doing fake miracle. They now ask you, are they doing fake miracle? I've been waiting and tell you, like when they tell Dupe to come out and write a story. You know you cannot lie for too long. There will be loopholes. Dupe came out and said they remove her womb. Said she couldn't walk. She was this, she was that. She was almost going until the altar of fire carry her and she began to walk. When I come hear story, I bring the story, I say, nah, lie. They came back to do counter attack. They still lie put. I say, this your lie still no match. I bring out this thing. Now they carry you, they say make you sit down and begin tell story. The story we are asking, the story that got us here is, it was there miracle that was staged or no miracle? You say as far as your own is concerned, you say the evidence is in hospital. We should go and find out. In other words, it was hospital that helped you. Woman, everybody may not understand, but we can see through you. You were comfortable on handouts. You were comfortable, your husband doing yes, sir, which is not bad. But yes, sir, where you will not have life. Daddy can call them at any time as a full-time pastor and say, oh yeah, go to this place. Oh yeah, go to this place. The man no go get his own life. Maybe that guy was tired of it. Just like people who work in an office and they are tired. The man say he won't go. Then say make you no go. They were now trying to use different kind of thing. He say daddy try. Daddy travel one time. He bought him a trouser. He bought him a leg. He bought him a ham. Now that handout to sharpen you. Say the man no stay collect. You were not ready to build with the man. Anyway, we listen to, we are here to listen. We are not judging. But we go still see, say, we can still talk some truth. I'm not judging. I don't know how they fell out of love. But one thing we can pick out of the story was somebody wants to move. Somebody does not want to move. And from there, wahala starts. Somebody was not ready to release somebody because he's very useful to his ministry in making money. Like some pastor said, when they were coming out, the man they date people. A particular pastor said every month, in they remit close to 300,000 to 500,000. At the end of the month, na 30,000 or 38,000 being salary. I say now you make choice to stay there. Some people are making like 5 million every month and remitting to their pastor. Their salary is no more than 80,000. Now your choice be that. Me, I say, you see, as we dey know, nobody can come and say, my GO do anything. My GO did this. My GO did that. This was the letter I signed. Fellow Nigeria, can you please help me? I want to talk about my general overseer. I was employed as a full-time pastor and I was being paid so amount, and I asked my pastor for increment. Your pastor cannot give you increments because they are businessmen. Okay? When they call you come and be a full-time pastor, they are telling you everything about your life. Suspend it for me. If you cannot stay queue, if you cannot look at what happened to Abioye is having a second chance because he has a lot of people who loved him. Now, you can see many of these people don't want to work. When we were telling you Abioye does not have anything to fall back on, you say we are lying. Aremu has something to fall back on. Did you see Aremu starting a church? Aremu is enjoying his peace now. But Abioye, no rest. No, when they say peace in no day, Abioye has to be online every day too now. Praying or doing one thing. Motivational talk. Because all they are doing is motivation. Abioye that said God did not call him to start ministry in those days. He's starting service now every Sunday. Very soon, himself go start him own miracle service too. Because he's at a stage of desperation. He's just 62, how old? He wants to, the little years where it go remain for him, he needs to work something that himself go sit down. By the time he's 70 or 75, if he never go, himself won't sit down, making the same money chop. Abioye has launched his ministry full blown. He first started with 2 days program, 3 days program, Kinikonbro program. Now it is every Sunday. Because he knows that Maga must always pay. If you are not looking at Abioye and what happened to him, one man now carry you, put you under nyash. He using brocos, he cover your head as a man. You as a man like yourself, go come carry brocos, he put on top of your head. You go say, I am working for the ministry, for the commission. A married man with children. And that is why there is reproduction of poverty in that society. Some people that are supposed to go and use their brain to go and do something, they are under pastor, recruiting slaves for pastor, all in the name of commission. And the pastor is paying you peanuts. Meanwhile, the same pastor is saving, is investing millions of money. By the time a pastor will collect from this branch, 10 million from this branch, a month, 5 million from this branch, 100 million from this branch, 40 million from this branch. At the end of the month, one pastor is raking in over 500 million, some 1 billion every month. And do people that are under them raking the money, your children, the life your children are living. Can you see the life a man that has so much crowd under this Eneche? Can you see the kind of life the children are living? Managing life. Managing life. Even the poor that they want to help, Eneche said no. His ministry is not for that. Because what actually caused their quarrel, go and listen to that podcast, was because this guy said, I want to start a public school that the rich will be sponsoring. And Eneche said, no, this is not part of our policy in this place. Because now, what is it? Abraham does not know that Eneche plan, Eneche commission, Eneche dream is to make money. Abraham thought it was for humanity. Abraham thought it is to help the less privileged. And he said, no, that is why there are schools, many of you that they are members, you cannot afford it. You cannot. It doesn't even matter if you are their member. Take your children there. You will pay your money. If you hold them, they will send your children back to school, back home. Last year, Baba Oshushengeshe Church, one of his members, he sowed seed after their program. He sowed seed of 1.5 million from the business he did. He forget saying go pay school fees. By January, when it was time to pay school fees, now he remember saying no pay school fees. He called them, said the children started going. By the second week, now they give the children letter, say make he come pay. He told them that they should please hold on for him. They did not answer him. He now started calling his siblings that they should please come and help him out. His children are at home. They are not going to school. Now in those ones ask him, say, the business where you do, where the money go? Where the money go? He said they should not question him. He did use it for the things of God. They ask God to pay the children's school fees now. When it comes to their school. When it comes to their school, they don't care. And one thing I'm glad for, and that is why we say on this page, we will do the little we can do. From all the accusation, you all had the lawyer that is acting for them. You heard what he said. This guy was not accused of stealing. He was not accused of mismanaging fund. They said because he is saying their miracle is fake. And yes, it is fake until proven otherwise. If they want to prove that it is not fake, let them go to the hospital where the real sick people are. Let them go to Yaba Left where the real mentally unstable people are. Let them go to Rebuttal or Kanu Street where the real cripple, they plenty there. Some don't even get money for wheelchair. Many of them does not have money for crutches. The blind, them plenty there. Let Eneche go there and go and perform the miracle. This woman that you have brought out, only confirm that your miracle is fake and is fake. For real, it is fake. Because she never even mentioned that she has a miracle in her own life too. She said when she was sick, she was in hospital, you sent money. Why didn't you pray for her? Her blood pressure went up. Why didn't you decree that the blood pressure should go down? You sent money. She was on medication. You have used medication for a while. And it is possible after using it consecutively, committedly for some time, it's possible your blood pressure will go down. If you calm yourself, you are doing what you need to do. You need to do. Your meal, your diet and everything. You will calm down. Ẹ ṣáà fẹ́ pa Abraham, ní rí pa. Ní rí pa. You have started another life. Only you, every year you were born in. For how old? Abraham was just 20-something. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń pamọ́jọ́ fún. And thank God when you were talking, you did not say he was not taking care of his children. You said when the children were with him, he will say he's going out to hustle. And from the hustle, he will quickly send money for them to chop. You said the money is not enough. What are you teaching your children? You are not teaching them contentment. How much have they used their own hands to make? I will give my children gari and eba and okra alasepo with little fish. They will tell me it's not enough. Adjustment in ilé ayé. When things are not okay, you can tell a child eba le ma jẹ. You eat that eba this afternoon. I mean around 11, 12, so that it can carry you till evening. So that in the evening you eat little food again. That is how much I can afford. You now say it's not giving them enough. You say you cannot pay school fees. Ẹjọ́ bí wọn ni. What a father cannot do, a mother should do it. What a mother cannot do, a father should do it. Or you do it jointly to make it easy. They are your children. You both hold those, you hold those children, both of you, they are your responsibility. It's not for him alone. It's not as if you don't have hand to work or you don't have leg to work. You keep saying, daddy give, daddy give, daddy give. Anyway, as we see, we say make it bring down. For those, especially considering what VDM said and VDM did, which was not right at this appropriate time. VDM came out at the time when it's supposed not to come out. He should have done it weeks before when that guy brought him out and was screaming. He should have arrested at least some people that were addressing him and calling him scam. He answered them. He should have answered that man at that time, but he waited until this man has been arrested and probably Adeyanju Deji wants to nail him more. And he said, throw that video out and call him names. That is a blackmailer, is a scam. And you did it. Anyway, no wahala. Men, this is a lesson for you. Young men, if you want to marry a woman, make sure that woman knows how to work. And spell it out. The responsibility is for both of us. Of course, you will do more. When she's pregnant, you might have to be the one to do it. But at a point, every responsibility of the house is for both of you. Both of you have to do it to progress the family. And once you see a woman, where Abraham's mistake came from was number one, being a full-time pastor. That was his greatest mistake of his life to another man. Number two, when he left the first time, he shouldn't have gone back. He made that mistake again. Number three, when he saw that your woman was not working and she was not doing well, you don't keep pumping money for a woman that is not ready to build that money. I love some men. They will give you 50 naira and watch how you are going to do that 50 naira. If you don't manage it well, you are on your own. And immediately they give you that 50 naira to start your business. They start letting you know you have some responsibility in the house, and that was why they set you up to make life easy for them. Sọ pé kọkùnrin kan sáré pa náà. Ṣọ́ wáyé ìyá ni? No, wọ́n wáyé ìyá. Èèyàn làwọn náà wọ́n lẹ́jẹ̀ lọ́rùn. At least, and a funny thing, when these children will finish finish school and everything, they take care of mothers more than the father. Ẹ dẹ̀ fẹ́ kọkùnrin para wọn torí ọmọ. How much is man eating after the children, they have become somebody? How much? How many of them enjoy these children in old age? Everything is still coming back to the woman. She enjoy more than the man. And you want the man to go and buy himself. He was doing something. It was not as if he was not doing something. Madam, you don't try you. And all this one where you say social media, make them no see wetin dey happen. Already media have seen the kind of children you have trained. For your children to choose an outsider and bring it out publicly. The same man that is punishing their children, punishing their father, they are now in solidarity with that people. That is a big one on you guys. Anyway, I don't talk my own, make we begin go. Thank you, everyone. We are really spending a lot of time. Like I told you, it's going to be a long one. Thank you for staying through the show. And thank you for listening. And you can make your conclusion from everything. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for helping me to stay on top of the show so that those people, when they come badge on the show, all those pastors family. Once I'm done, I might likely log the comment section of the Facebook because I don't want their madness on my page. Okay? Those people roaming around, where they no pay them salary, where they help pastor fights. I don't want them on my page on this particular show. Thank you, every one of you. On TikTok, thank you for the gifters. You are all appreciated. For people on YouTube, thank you so much. You are all appreciated. On Facebook, thank you for the stars. You are all appreciated. And please don't forget the help we are trying to render to Abraham. We are hoping that very soon he shall come out, and all that will be left is for them to go to court, and he will go and defend himself and whatever they want to do. But I believe I want to believe he will not be jailed for this. I want to believe. I learned their family member are trying to meddle into it. So please, the GoFundMe link, I will still repost it again. I will still post it as another post. Please kindly help to assist on this GoFundMe so that we can assist him to stand back on his feet. A full-grown man begging shows a lot that he actually needed help. So please, please, let us be our brother's keeper. That is what we stand for on this page. Let God judge every one of us at the end of the day. Leave us for what we believe. Leave us for what we stand for. If you don't believe it, please leave us for it. But we are saying when we see something like this, we will not keep quiet. Your pastors are ruining lives. You are not even fighting for all the debts going on in Christendom. Those are the things you should face. All the pastors that are disgracing you up and down, go and face them. Or go and arrest Abel Damina that is saying your miracles are fake. And we say your miracles are fake. Thank you, every one of you. I love you guys. Thank you for staying true. Have a good one. It's been a long one. All right. See you guys. Bye, everyone. Yes, so you see something, we say something, yes. But please, no victim of pastors is tolerated anymore on this page. When we see your story, we go analyze. We are not assisting any pastor's victim. Please. Bye. All right, guys, on YouTube. Bye, guys. Whew.